Yo, CheckDown family, what's good? It's your boy Smitty, and we're back again with another CheckDown episode. I'm here with Dre, J Mick, Pop. We waiting on Sir, but obviously the draft is on the way, man. We got a lot of things to get into, a lot of things to talk about. But right now, we got to talk about the elephant in the room. But first, before we get to it, how y'all feeling, man? How y'all feeling this week? Dre?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good, man. Bless the Lord woke me up this morning, so I'm feeling great, man. Happy to be here. Happy to talk some football. Ready to get to it.
J Mick?
We've been talking about the draft for a long time, and we are on the cusp of getting to that draft, man. So I'm pretty excited.
Pop?
Yeah, man, listen. This upcoming Thursday, the draft has finally arrived. I'm ready, bro. I'm tired of this mock draft. I'm tired of the conversations. I'm just ready to get to it.
But first, before we get into the draft talk, man, and we talk about, these prospects that we got, obviously today is fire and ice, overrated and underrated. But before we get into those, 2026 NFL prospects, the elephant in the room, man, Dexter Lawrence. Obviously, things aren't necessarily going his way. And I think we had a crossing point where, like, with the draft being so close, how y'all feel about what's going on with Dexter Lawrence? What's your opinion? What's your stance? You know what I mean? And would you trade for him?
I'm gonna start off with saying, pay that man his money. That's my opinion on it. It's like a thing. Get that man his money because it's no other Dexter Lawrence in the NFL. So you gotta pay him. But if they are trying to move off of him, and like I understand, the contract conversation was kind of weird because he came back to the table the same year that his extension initially kicked in, which that's kind of the risk you take when you sign a deal early. You get some stability and you have some guarantees, right? Because you get that money, but you're also potentially losing out if the market goes up. But that's kind of the risk you take. And we see some guys, they value the market and hitting the free market more, and they'll wait it out. And then we see other guys that they take those deals and they might be a little slightly underpaid, but they have that guarantee that they wouldn't have had otherwise. And I think that's what happened with Dex. He just signed his contract early and then he got upset when it came time for him to actually be making the money he agreed to be making. So I don't I I understand him wanting his money because of the talent he is, but I can also understand the other side kind of digging their heels in a little bit and being hard headed on it. So I can see both sides of it. But if it's me, pay that man, man. We need Dex on this defense line next year. So pay him. Tremendous
I'm,
talent, future Hall of Famer.
to me, because obviously like, I'm a Patriot fan, so for me, I don't need the player because I'm strong in that position to begin with. So from a general NFL perspective, if I don't have a good presence on my interior D line, then I'd be giving the Giants a call right now. But if I'm the Giants, I kind of side with Dre. Like, to me, he's the heart of that defense. Like Brian Burns is able to do what Brian Burns does because Dexter Lawrence on the inside, and teams pay a lot of attention to Dexter Lawrence. So I do think he's worth the 30 million. It's not like he's over 30 yet, so he's still under that age. And like interior D linemen, like like there are guys that play well into their 30s. Um, so I just think it's well worth the money just to pay him. And who else you paying? Like your quarterback going to his second year, you don't got to pay him for another 2 years. Neighbors is going to his third year, you don't got to pay him for another 1 to 2 years. Like however, these are all these both first round picks. So it's not like like your running backs are young. Like your tackles are already paid. So it's not like you got a whole bunch of people that you got to pay. And so I just think you could give him the deal now, and by the time the deal runs out, then you got to pay neighbors, and then you got to pay quarterback, and I mean all that good stuff. And if I'm the Giants, the only way I'm trading them is if you call me up and you want to give me 2 first-round picks. Now, I mean, if you want to do that, then I'm gonna have to trade them. So
Honestly, I think ownership got to stop being cheap and just up the bag. They said they was up in the bag. It's time for them to show that. Because if you up in the bag, then I don't understand how this is even an issue in paying debts. Like, I'm not saying you get pulled over the table or nothing like that, but like, y'all should be able to come to an agreement. He's been here his whole career. Like, New York is a great market to play in. It looks like the team potentially could be on a upturn. Like, I don't know why you wouldn't want to stay here, and I think it would benefit him to be here too. It would benefit both sides, but I mean, some guys it gets past that point. You can't save the relationship. But we thought that about Miles Garrett last year, and here we are. So uh,
yeah, I was
who
also gonna
knows?
say like when I get to this week, draft week, pretty much we're inside of a week of the draft. The draft, I don't really believe nothing I be hearing. So like I take it with a grain of salt. And so until Dex get traded, I'm not gonna believe it. So
I think Harbaugh stepped in yesterday too and started speaking to Dex. So that could also change things because he wasn't really negotiating with Dex or anything or having any like conversations. If I'm not mistaken, Dex's agent said it would be best if they didn't have like any contact or something like that. But as of yesterday, Harbaugh spoke with him and they said things have maybe taken a little bit more of a positive direction. But I mean, who knows at this point, man? These things happen out of nowhere.
It's interesting, man, because sometimes when you get ahead of the game, you just said it, man. You take a loss, you can't really be upset at the loss. Though, like now, you just got to outplay the contract. So when it's time to negotiate the new contract, which you probably will get another chance to get another contract, you're eligible for the money that's available at that point. Like right now, forcing the hand is kind of a shaky situation because yeah, you can say what you like, but until that team trade you, you really don't have the leverage yet. I mean, they kind of got you under contract. They kind of got you paid. Like you're in a situation where, yes, you took less money, but you got the guarantees to be able to do what you do. So you can't kind of switch out on them now, man. I think it's a little bit of a shaky situation because I think he could have did a little bit better by the team. But I also think like at some point, I mean, yeah, they're gonna pay you again. So just what he got, what, 2 more years left before he get paid again this year and next year?
He doesn't have
yeah,
any
but
guaranteed money left, and I think that's his issue is that it's not guaranteed. But yes, he does have 2 years left on the contract that he signed. So to your point, if he goes out and he balls out this year, the chances of him getting a huge payday next offseason, or maybe even at the bye week, depending on the type of season he's having, I think they're pretty high. So him forcing his hand, and it's not that it started recently, because if this just started recently, I might view it a little bit differently. But this started 2 years ago. Like he's been trying to renegotiate literally since his contract kicked in. So the first year it kicked in, it was like, well, I need more money. Like I'm trying to come back to the table. So this is 2 years now of this conversation going on, and I think that's why it might be at the impasse that we're at now. But I don't know. We'll see. I do think if it's gonna happen, it'll happen probably. Well, yeah. I mean, it'll be done by this time next week if it's gonna happen because it'll happen between now and day one of the NFL draft. So we'll know by then.
I think the likelihood of him getting traded after the draft is very slim.
No, I agree. Especially with this 2027 class that's coming up, man. Like we were just talking about it a little bit before the show. 2027 class is going to be crazy.
And the value people have on those 2027 first round picks already, before even seeing the talent play in the 2026 season, says a lot about how valuable players will be as far as like me giving up a 2027 first round pick for a player. Like I think a lot of teams are going to be a little bit hesitant to want to move like that.
Yeah. I mean, on both sides of the ball, you're going to be able to get real impact, at least how it stands right now, right? These guys actually got to go out and play. So some of this is projection still, but in my opinion, based off of what I've seen from a lot of these guys and what they could still become, you're going to get a high impact player on either side of the ball, probably within the first 15 picks of next year's draft. Like, I think you're going to get a guy that can come in and immediately raise the floor of whatever side of the ball they're playing on. And I mean, there might even be like 20, at least 20 first rounders in next year's class. I don't know. I haven't started with the first round grades and all that yet, but I think it'll be more than this year. That class is going to be really good.
What's good, Jigga? What's good, Fair? What's good, Darlene? With your Eagle hate. I hope your Cowboys only have 3 wins this season. Appreciate you. Thank you for coming by.
No, 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 no,
No,
no,
no,
no,
no,
no,
no,
no,
no,
no,
no,
no,
no,
no,
no.
no, no,
I
no.
no,
Chill
no,
out, chill
no,
out, chill
no.
out, chill out. Not three.
I need them to get 7, 8 wins, man. I'm sorry, man. I
Yeah,
can't
yeah. They
have
got
the
to be
Jets
middle of the pack.
having
They
multiple
can't
top
be.
10 picks, man.
Mm-mm.
And then I need the Cowboys and the Colts to be good this year, man.
Dang, y'all jumped on me like, bro, I'm hoping the worst for them, man. I'm sorry.
Hey,
Yeah,
look,
but
look,
Cowboys
look.
don't
Hold
even have
on,
their own
hold on.
first round picks, so
I forgot they don't have their pick. So I'm with you. Hey, 3 games it is. They can win one game for all I care.
Yeah,
I
nah, they
forgot they
talking
didn't have that
about
pick. You're right. You're right, man.
J Mick don't want it because it's the Jets.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
If
yeah.
they
I
win
don't want the
three
Jets having
games, that's how many
two or
picks
three
that's
top 10 picks.
potentially in the top 10?
I mean, one of the
Nah, but
best
Yeah,
drafts in I mean the last decade, and you want me to have you want my rival, well not my rival, but the team in my division
but
to have multiple top 10 picks? Hell no.
well, look. I mean, sorry to disappoint. I guess me and Smitty, but I was having a conversation with somebody the other day has really good insight on like the new situation they got going on over there in Dallas on the defensive side of the ball, and he said he thinks they're going to be really, really, really good. So I don't know, man, and it wasn't like a fan either. It was actually like somebody that works in the league. He said that he thinks that defense is going to be really, really good. He has some experience with somebody that's on the staff over there, and yeah, man. If that's true, our division is going to be the best division in football this year. I'll tell you that much. It's going to be
So
tough.
you think your division gonna be better than the AFC? I mean, not the AFC, but the NFC West?
If the
Yes.
Cowboys going to be like that, yeah, because obviously the Giants going to be like that. We ain't going to be terrible no more. And then the Commanders, I don't know. Are they going to make it back out of the basement? Are they going to crawl back up? Or are they going to stay at the lower level?
But technically, weren't you in the basement last year?
Well, I mean, mind business. First of all, uh,
Hey, I mean, I'm just trying to set the record straight. Like we've got to be. I mean,
I
factual on
mean,
this
we would
pod,
look.
man.
We were both in the basement. Hold on, you ain't never like you only been in the basement by yourself before. You ain't never been in the basement with somebody else. Like you ain't never have a
Technically,
homeboy that has
I mean, yeah, technically it's only one pick separating y'all
basement.
from the basement. So, I mean, whoever that
yeah,
is
but
at
somebody
six
got
is
to
the only
be.
person separating y'all from each other.
It's the
It's
Browns.
the
We all in the
Browns.
basement. We all in the basement. Like
Yeah.
Somebody got to be on the basement. Somebody got to be on the first floor, the
Hey,
second
look,
floor,
we
and
made it out the
the
basement too.
penthouse, man. That's the way it works.
This is why I don't like people be changing up because you was just in the basement with me last
Man,
year, J man.
nah,
And
that
then
was
what
2
you
years
do?
ago. 2 years ago, I was
You
in the
know what I'm
basement.
talking
And then
about. What? I'm
2
not
years ago,
talking
I was
about
in the
this
basement.
past season.
Now I'm in the
Yes.
penthouse.
Oh,
Penthouse
okay.
for living, man. That's
So,
where we at now.
but look, now you in the penthouse and you looking down on those common folk trying to get up to the penthouse. That's crazy.
I mean, I'm not necessarily looking down. I'm just stating the facts. I mean, I can say I was in I mean, like basement for 2 straight years, and we made it out. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and I'm saying we getting out the basement this year. So if the Commanders get out the basement, then all four teams will be out the basement. That's what I'm saying.
Man, you are lucky certified not here right now, man. You
Yeah,
don't know how lucky you are. We having this conversation right now, man, because certified will be having some real fun with this this conversation right here, man.
yeah, cool.
First off, I didn't say you're gonna win 3 games. I said I hope you win 3 games. That was my statement.
Man, I need them boys to win at least 6, 7 games.
Nah, bro. I need them to be the worst that they can be, bro. This ain't the army, bro. We ain't the best you can be. This need to be the opposite, the worst you can be. Dre
All
talking
right, so
about
you
the
don't want
best
to.
division in football. I want them to be the worst team in football.
Nah, they're gonna be good, man. I think the Cowboys are gonna be really good. Unfortunately, I think they'll be good.
Yeah, but I
Gonna be
just
some
don't think
battles in our division.
I don't think there's gonna be two teams coming out the East.
Well, it's gonna be three coming out the East.
Yeah, I don't see
You
that.
just wait and see. You look, write it down on Saturday, April 18th,
No, I'm gonna remember
2026.
this.
I said three teams from the NFC East will make the playoffs next year.
Okay, so obviously you're saying the Eagles, Cowboys,
I,
and
s-
Giants.
I said three teams. I
Oh,
don't know what that three gonna be. Three teams.
mm, okay. I don't see it, but all right.
I mean, we'll have later conversations about that.
Yeah. But all right. Well, I don't know what delusional things he was doing this morning when he said 3 teams. I mean, we going back to the old format when the old NFC East or something. We adding teams back in or something like that.
Nah, three teams coming out the NFC East.
I'm just saying, I'm looking at the NFC West, I'm looking at the NFC North, right? Um, the West had three teams in the playoffs. The North had two.
And how many teams that were in the playoffs the previous year don't make it back each year?
It's normally
Mm,
you have two teams that made the playoffs last year that don't make it, and vice versa.
On
Obviously, two new teams that get in.
on each
mm-hmm,
side, right? On each
Yeah,
side.
mm-hmm.
east
So
side. Yeah, that's right.
four new playoff teams each year.
Yeah,
I'm just saying we got a good shot. Did the
and I also
Cowboys make
think
the
like the
playoff?
Seahawks.
Look. Let me. Did the Cowboys make the playoffs last year?
Nope.
Did the Giants make the playoffs last year? No.
Not even
Did the
close.
Commanders make the playoffs last year?
Yeah,
Not
but I
even
don't
close.
think. What I would say is I don't think you're going to get two teams that didn't make the playoffs coming from the same division, though. That's the one thing I tell you.
I mean, look, like I said, write it down, man.
Because also the Lions didn't make the playoffs last year either.
Yeah, like my pushback is not necessarily saying that like the Giants or the Cowboys can't make the playoffs. It's more of I'm seeing three teams coming out the East. I don't see that. Two teams potentially. Yes, I could possibly see that.
The
I could
Packers
potentially
not
see
making the
two
playoffs.
teams. I don't know about the
That's my early
Packers.
prediction. The Packers will not make the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I don't know about the Packers. I think the Bears can get back. I think the Lions, I like what they did. They could probably get back to the playoffs this year too.
Yeah, but saying the Packers not going to make the play, is that really a stretch? Because it's like they're the seventh seed every year.
The
So
Packers not.
that ain't a stretch.
That's fair, but the Vikings not making the playoffs. You think Kyler Murray making the playoffs?
No. I mean, I never had the Vikings making the playoffs last year or this year.
So why are we talking about the NFC North like it's this scary division right now? Because yeah, I think the Lions will be good, but did the Lions not just come off a season where they also had some issues?
Yeah, they did, but I mean, like they had some injuries, had some coaching issues, all that good stuff. But,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, it's a new year, and if they can find someone to play the other tackle spot, and that's average, then they'll be just fine.
I do think the Lions will be just fine. I'm just saying, I
I mean,
don't
but I
know.
do think the
Packers, I think
Seahawks. like the Seahawks to me look like it's. I mean, that looked like a regression waiting to happen. And they lost a lot of players to free agency. Um, I mean, like they had some players get hurt on a run to the Super Bowl. So that I'm not saying they're not gonna make the playoffs, but like it's definitely possible. I got to see what they do in the draft. How they gonna feel? Like those guys that they lost.
For me, I think one, you don't have a lot of draft capital for the Seahawks going into this draft. You did lose some talent on both sides of the ball. But the biggest question I have is Sam Darnold and this new offensive coordinator that they have. Um, and that's something I'm looking forward to because I do think Sam was able to operate Clint's offense pretty effectively last year. And then also the loss of Walker in free agency. Like, who are you going to add to that? Because I'm just not a believer in Charbonnet being the bell cow for that Seahawks team. I think you need to pair him with another running back. So that's a team I'm interested in see what they do like through the draft and even like through training camp, see what comes of it. But I do think there's a potential fall off with them.
Just saying, man. We'll see. It's a long off season. We have a lot of time to have that conversation.
But I think the same conversation goes to the AFC too. Like there's going to be two teams that didn't make it, and the team that everybody loved to pick is the Steelers, not to make it. And then you got other teams that are teams like the Chiefs that didn't make it, teams like the Ravens that didn't make it. Like, and so it's. I mean, I think each conference, man, it's just going to be a dogfight to actually get into the playoffs.
I mean, honestly, anything we try to predict at this point, like it's kind of it's good conversation. But we can't. What are we basing it on? We have 30 something new hires in the NFL. Um, it's just too much movement, just player wise and personnel wise. Like you don't really have a good scope of what anybody is yet. We will get a better scope throughout the off season, and then we'll be having those conversations here weekly, right? We'll be talking about these teams and all like how they're developing, and we'll talk to people from those fan bases, all that. But as of right now, we can have an idea or we can try to guess, but we don't really know anything about how these teams are constructed for the most part. Way too much shakeup throughout the league. It's gonna be. This is gonna be a year where it might be like college football was 2 years ago, like how unpredictable it was. The NFL might be like that this year.
It's gonna be interesting though how it play out, man. Because I obviously broke the curse for the NFC East. You know what I mean? The back-to-back guys and all that. Since whatever. That's over with. So we can move on from that, right?
And then what
But
happened?
I think it's a lot of teams that don't matter. That don't matter. That part don't even matter. That don't part. I've made the playoffs. I don't have the transgressions of the Giants and the Commanders where you like, oh, I had made the playoffs this year but didn't make the playoffs. Nah, I make the playoffs. I ain't worried about it. Lose, win, draw, I make the playoffs. So I ain't got to put all the man. This team made it last year but ain't gonna make it this year. So that's my spot. Now my spot is somewhere in 1 to 7. Period. I'm making the playoffs. I don't care if I make it as a wild card. I'll be in the playoffs. But I already broke the curse though. The curse was the only thing I had going on. You know what I mean? I just wanted to make sure, because people told me, oh, the Eagles ain't gonna win it back to back, and then we won it back to back. And then, yeah, we lost in the first round. Cool, whatever, wild card, whatever. Yeah, San Francisco, they ain't winning either, so that's all good with me. But the Giants, to me, out of the 2 teams or 3 teams that you have there, I think have the most interesting road to making it back to the playoff run type deal, because like they're gonna have the easier schedule, obviously, but they have like we just talked about Dexter Lawrence. I don't know how that path looks if you start trading pieces and things of that nature, but right now with the team constructed as is, I think they do have a good opportunity to make a little elevated push. I don't know if about where they make it to, but I think they could be an interesting matchup for teams this season.
I mean, to me, I feel like the Giants are a true wild card because it's like the team could be really good, or I mean, the team could be what it was last year. Like it's just like I said, it's a wild card. Like you just don't know, and I got to see what they do in the draft. I got to see what they do with Dexter Lawrence. Like it's a whole bunch of things I got to see. But for me and my own team, I got an own curse I got to fight, and I got to fight the curse of the team that loses the Super Bowl. Team that loses the Super Bowl, a lot of the times, the next year they don't make the playoffs. So I mean, that's the curse that my team is trying to, beat at this point because you look at it last year, the Chiefs lost the Super Bowl. They didn't even make the playoffs. They didn't come close to making the playoffs. Like they got a top 10 pick right now, and I can list off a lot of teams that lose the Super Bowl and the very next year they fall off the wagon. And so my team got to kind of go against that. Like like there's players that we lost. We got this little coaching controversy shit going on with my coach. So I mean, like, we got a lot of noise in the room that they're gonna have to fight to be able to make it back to the playoffs.
So since we're here, y'all might as well just write down two that I said today. Only one team from the AFC East is making the playoffs, and it's the Buffalo Bills.
I mean, honestly, I can't be like what I just said. I can't be mad at that because like the team that loses the Super Bowl doesn't make the playoffs the next year a lot of the time. Like it's not just a one time occurrence. This has happened a lot through the history of the NFL. So I really can't be mad at that. Now, do I believe it? No, because I think we're making the playoffs. But but I do respect it though.
Why the Bills? Why the Bills? What they got that make them so playoff worthy?
What you mean? They got the best quarterback in that division.
Okay,
I mean, last year they didn't because
continue.
Drake May was better than Josh Allen last year.
Uh, You want to use a 1 year sample size, or you want to use a career?
I want to use the most recent year.
I mean, you can base it off of a year if you want to. So Sam Darnold was better than Drake May this past year.
No, he wasn't. I mean, Drake May was better than him in the regular season. Now, you want to talk about the postseason? Yeah.
Oh no! It's more than just a regular season, though. It's a whole football season, good brother. Like, they don't just stop after the regular season. I know it stops after the regular season for a
I mean,
long
but I
time
could
for
also say
leagues,
that
but
Drake May didn't have the receivers that Sam Darnold had. He didn't have the offensive line that Sam Darnold had. There's a lot of things I could say that Drake May didn't have that Sam Darnold had better. So I mean, I can go that route too.
you want to, you could try. And that's why I'm saying though, Josh Allen just better. Like Josh Allen, he's a better quarterback.
Interesting. You know what I mean? But we kind of know the outcome of Josh Allen in the playoffs, so we're gonna leave that where it's at. Um, you said the AFC East won. I'm trying to look at these standings again because I can't even. Denver. Do the Bengals make the playoffs this year?
To be determined.
The Colts
I
were close.
don't until
To
they
be
can show me
determined.
a defense that's formidable. I'm gonna say no.
Now, if they trade for Dexter Lawrence and they trade me six
If
and
if
whatever
CJ
else,
Stroud continue on the route he on, does Houston not make it?
I mean, Houston didn't win their division last year,
If C-
so
and I said if he continue on the route he on, do they get over? You know what I mean? Do they get taken over?
I mean, the Texans got to be careful. Like, I love the Texans defense. Like, I think it's probably bar none one of the best defenses in the league. But like at some point, your offense got to step up to the plate and be, like complimentary of the defense that they have. And if CJ keep going backwards, I mean, like you got teams rising in that division. I mean, like the Jaguars are gonna be better. Like, like their first round pick from last year, he didn't play the second half of the season. So he gonna be back. I know they lost Devin Lloyd, but like, other than a first round pick, like they have I think the Jags still have like 9, 10 picks in the draft, so they got enough capital to make the team better. So I mean, so the Texans got a little bit of competition. So the Colts, I just don't know about the Colts, man. Like I don't like the whole Daniel Jones thing. I'm just not sure how that team's gonna bounce back. But the Colts haven't lost more than 8, 9 games in like 3, 4 years, so they're gonna be hanging around. The Titans to me just aren't there yet. So
Real quick, because I see in the chat, shout out Jigga, man. Jigga has some questions, and I think these are some good questions. We should highlight these questions for a second. So, Jigga asks, is your O-line going to be healthy? Is Jalen going to fare? How is Jalen going to fare in a system not suited for him? And is Howie going to get a proven pass rusher? So, Smitty, would you like to answer Jigga's questions?
Jigga's an Eagle fan and Jigga's a troll. I don't know if I want to answer his questions. Would you like to answer his questions, good brother? I mean, you wanted to point the questions out. You wanted them highlighted. How about you take the microphone? You answer his questions. Will my O-line be healthy?
I don't know.
I look like a physician? Can I tell you what the hell? I can't even tell if they're healthy right now. How can I tell if they'll be healthy when the season starts? These aren't questions I can answer.
He said
I'm not worried about Jalen Hurts.
Real, man.
I know that. I'm not worried about Jalen Hurts.
I'm not worried about Jalen Hurts, man. He said he the voice of the people. That's what Jigga said.
I don't know if Howie is going to get a proven pass rusher. I think Howie is probably going to draft young and see how it fares out for him, like he's been doing for the past few seasons.
Oh wow!
Well, that's just what I think gonna happen.
Jigga said some of the Eagle fans became like Dallas fans. How delusional they've gotten here recently. So like, wow. Oh wow!
You gonna let him talk to you like that?
Hey, Jigga, come on, man.
Come on, Smitty. Come on now. You inside the building. You can't let a mofo that's standing outside talk to you like that.
Wait, that's not me saying that. That's Jigga saying
that. Man, that's interesting. Like, come on, bro. Jigga is a. I heard him. I'm reading it. He said. But Dallas ain't won since the 90s. I'm definitely not delusional like that.
Service is nervous,
I
brother.
just won one. Oh, two.
Wait a minute. Two. You just said something interesting, Smitty. You just said something interesting. You said they're delusional. They haven't won since when?
The 90s.
Oh, the 90s? Oh, wow. Okay. Interesting.
What did they win in the 90s?
Didn't they win in 95?
Who?
The Cowboys.
Their last Super Bowl.
Oh, I thought you was talking about Jigga. My bad.
No, I think it's a different Jigga. It's not this. It's not the Vikings.
No, that's Eagle Jigga.
Yeah.
Eagle Jigga. I don't know him. Oh, okay. My apologies. Hey, what's so good, people? What Dre been lying about?
Oh man, but the truth.
Yeah, say words, son.
And nothing, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. I said it's only
say words, son.
Look, I said it's only one team making the playoffs for the AFC East. And it's the Buffalo Bills. And I said it's 3 teams making it from the NFC East. Yeah.
Say words, son.
Yeah, man.
3 on.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man. So that's 3. So that leaves 4 for the other 3 divisions. So what's the other division that's gonna get 2, and who's the 2?
Hey man, that's to be determined. I'm just telling you, it's 3 from the NFC East.
I mean, you playing Negro Dominus today, so go ahead and predict it for us.
Well, I can only give you. Look, I can only give you what comes to me. I can't manufacture this. It got to come natural. Like, do you think I can just manufacture that? Come on.
Yeah, man. I don't know how it works, brother. That's why I'm asking a man that knows how it works.
What's good? D Money in the building too. Oh, I also said that the Vikings are not making the playoffs.
Oh,
I did say
okay,
that. I said the
okay.
Vikings not making the playoffs. The Packers
That's
not
low
making
hanging
the
fruit.
playoffs.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's where I look. Yeah, I think that covers everything.
So
That's my.
Chicago running it back, or Detroit gonna disappoint their fans again?
I don't know who's gonna win that matchup.
Oh, okay,
No,
okay.
But I
I
do
don't
think
know.
both them teams make the playoffs. Though I do think the Lions and the Bears make the playoffs. Though,
potentially.
yeah. I
Um,
have them making it. I've got two from the East, and what I got two from the West, and then I got one from the South.
um,
Because I think somebody on the West is gonna have a regression. Um,
um,
and I mean, depending on like for me right now, that like I don't think the Rams are, and I don't think the Niners are. Just off the fact that Niners was so hurt last year that normally when you have a year like that, the very next year, like your team is normally much more healthy. So I just think they're going to be healthier. I think the Rams are the Rams. I just think they're I mean like unless Stafford has a season-ending injury, I just think they're going to be in a mix. And I just had the Seahawks kind of like the Seahawks lost a lot of players. So I just got to see who they add, and they didn't add a bunch of free agency. So I got to see who they draft and see if their draft kind of is going to fit to the players that they lost. So I'm kind of seesawing with the Seahawks right now.
Man, Niners, the red couch. The red couch. And blow it all the time. It was a little bit delayed, the comment. That was Jigga's words, not mine. I like Jigga.
I don't, I don't know Jigga, but he should probably. I don't know if Jigga's a Cowboy fan or close your ears, Philly. I mean, Smitty. I don't know if he's a Cowboys fans or Eagles fans, but I'm that baby's pappy. Okay, so you need to pipe down.
Well, he's an Eagles fan, just to
Okay,
clarify.
all right. I tell him to go back to the wild card round last year and tell me how that worked out for him with his super team.
We do have Darlene in the building, though. That's a
Uh,
Cowboys fan,
and
you
and
know.
and ask him how long has he been living in my shadow? You know, they like to do that in the NFCs. No disrespect to you, Dre.
I couldn't hear you. I only hear teams that have as many championships as I do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess we need to get a Packers fan in here, or maybe a Chiefs fan, somebody that's on the fourth floor, since you only speak fourth floor.
Four, good brother, eight.
Oh, brother, see, you gotta. Which one is it, brother?
It's
Because you
eight.
be quick to talk about. I don't want to talk about things that happened before I was born.
Because you don't want to acknowledge the fact that I got eight
I don't
championships.
want to talk about things that happened before I was born. And then you want to
Yeah.
talk about things that happened before nobody team existed but yours.
Hey, man. The NFL wouldn't be what it is without the New York football giants.
There's a feedback loop
Yeah,
happening.
someone got an echo.
Yeah, it's a loop. Yeah. Jigga.
So basically, we about to have a Super Bowl regression, is what I'm hearing today, because the Patriots not making the playoffs,
Mm.
and then the Seahawks, if they don't make the playoffs, that's a Super Bowl regression, right?
I don't see no competition for the Patriots in the AFC East. I'm gonna just be honest with you. I don't. I don't see anybody even pushing them.
Yeah, I ain't gonna go that
I'm
far.
and
I think the Bills will push us, but I mean, I'm not scared of the Bills though. Like they don't scare me or anything. I mean, they added DJ Moore, but I didn't. I mean, there were rumors that we were going to add DJ Moore, and I didn't even want to trade for DJ Moore. So, like I said, I mean, there'll be competition for us, but I'm like I said, like, I'm not scared of them though.
they got
So,
some changes at the top that I have questions about. You Are they gonna win games? Yeah, but how are they gonna perform when them lights get bright? How well is Joe Brady gonna lead when them lights get bright? Because week 14, 15, 16, 17 is different.
I got a trivia question for you guys. It's on this topic though. Who were the last two teams to meet in the Super Bowl not make it the year after?
Not make the playoffs?
Yes, not make the playoffs the year after. I give you a hint. It's been in the last 15 years.
The first one or both of them?
They said both.
Both teams not make the playoffs.
You said happened in the last 15 years?
In the last 15 years.
Was it the Patriots Falcons?
No, it was the Broncos Panthers. Super
Broncos,
Bowl
Panthers.
50.
And am I
Both
breaking up or was he breaking up?
It's you.
I think it's you, yeah.
both missed the playoffs in 2016. And before that, it only happened 4 other times. In 1987, the Commanders and the Broncos both missed it. Then the Broncos versus the Falcons in 98, they both missed it. In 01, Patriots Rams and both missed it the year after. And 02, it was Buccaneers and the Raiders. Both missed the playoffs the year after. It's happened 5 times throughout history. If it happens again, it'll be the 6th time.
But I don't even think it's that crazy though, because it's like, man, to get like just to make it to the playoffs in the NFL, like I mean, everything got to kind of go your way, man. Like you got to be, your players got to play well, they got to be healthy. There's a lot of different factors that go into it, and if you get if you get an injury to one of your better players, man, it's going to make it challenging for you just to even get back to the playoffs.
All right. Well, now that certified is here, we can get into the meat and potatoes.
My fault.
Yeah,
Oh, my bad. We can get into the meat and potatoes
of today's episode. All right, so who want to go first with their overrated, right? You want to do overrated first, right, Pop?
Uh-uh.
We want to do underrated.
All right, let's get into these underrateds then.
I'll kick it off. My underrated player, well, I wouldn't say necessarily underrated, but I think job day still would be Aaron Anderson. He's a guy that teams will probably target in the 5th or 6th round. I think he's an instant impact player for you on the special teams. Dynamic punt returner, kick returner. Him as a wide receiver, there's some growth there. I think he plays better in zone. He does really well against free releases. He's a guy that you can use in the slot. Very physical at the point of the attack. Has really good long speed as well. So you can get some yak out of that. But this is a guy I think any special teams coordinator will love to have. And then he can get slowly worked onto the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, I mean,
Any takes on Aaron Anderson?
he is a shifty, like kind of yak guy, and he could. I mean, I could see him carving out a role at the next level, but it's going to take some work because he has a small catch radius. But I mean, we see guys have success with a small catch radius. Wan'Dale Robinson just had 1,000 yards last season, so it's possible. It just he has like drops at times that just it's not like even really super contested. It's almost like when he has to lock in, he's a better player, but like when it gets easy to him, he's just prone to like concentration drops at times, and that's another thing I don't like about him. And you get physical with him up at the line, you can kind of take him out of the play. You can reroute him and get him out of the play early. I don't like free release, yes, but if you can get up in him and jam, like he's gonna be strictly a slot receiver. You gotta have him off the line. You can't let anybody get their hands on him. He's cooked if anybody gets their hands on him. But he could be a returner too, so he brings some value there, yeah.
I mean, for me, I've seen the mark to the Patriots a bunch, like in the late rounds. So we got a bunch of 5th and 6th round picks. What I like about Aaron, is just like his top end speed. I mean, like, and you can see it on the film. I mean, since obviously I'm, my favorite teams in the SEC, like I watch, I watch a bunch of like SEC football. I mean, so I really love his top end speed. His route running is really good, like Dre said, from the slot. I mean, and his footwork is pretty clean. I guess my thing is like for me, like if we were to draft him, like I would definitely want him to be like my kickoff returner / like my slot guy, things like that. I mean, for me, like my thing also what Dre said, like to me, he's just like undersized. And so I don't feel like his catch radius is. I'm not saying his catch radius is bad. I think it's kind of average. So I don't think it's in anything great. And like sometimes he like has the like what was been said, like he drops the ball at times, and so that's just something that he's gonna have to work on. Like he's just gonna have to work on catching the football better. But saying all this, like if you're drafting him in the 5th, 6th round, I mean, like which I think that's where the range he'll go. I'd be willing to take the risk that he might be able to like develop on some of these weaknesses and like strengthen some of his strengths, and you might get yourself a player.
I think the 40 time might have hurt his stock because he is known to have speed. Like I know Aaron Anderson, obviously he was at Bama before he came to LSU, right? Like that was one of the things that he was recruited on was his speed. For him to go out and run a 4.55 is kind of crazy. Like I don't know what was going on, and I'm not gonna say I don't care because it definitely made me question certain things, but it's like this was a guy I thought had like 4.3, like probably high 4.3 speed. And that's how he was always spoken about. Now he comes out and runs a 4.55. Like it might have hurt his stock a little bit because he was kind of known as a speedster kind of guy.
Yeah, but my thing, Dre, is like if I watch your film and I see that you're fast on the film, and then I watch the combine and you run a 4.5 or 4.6, like I'm gonna like, and I get it. That's a 40-yard dash, and I get all that. But like I'm gonna lean more on the film, and like you said, and I've seen him play. Like he has speed when he's playing, so I'm gonna just weigh more on that than his 40 time.
I think the biggest upside for Aaron Anderson is getting the ball like y'all all said in open field, man. Like when he does get the ball in open field, he's able to make a move. He's able to, really show that speed. Like when I'm watching the tape, I know the 40 didn't add up, but it was in a positive manner though. Like, yeah, his 40 might have been detrimental by the eye, but I'm watching him on the field. He plays with some sense of urgency, a sense of speed, shiftiness, some swiftness in his game. Like I don't see this, I don't see the slow foot. You know what I mean?
No, I wasn't saying he played slow, but that's why it's so like puzzling to me. Like a 4.55 is crazy for a guy
Kind
that's
of
known for his speed.
it kind of reminds me of Ted Johnson last season, right? That's a guy people were talking about. He plays fast, good route running hands, but he runs the 40 into 4.5. He falls all the way to the 7th round, and then the Bucks draft him. But when he gets into the starting rotation for the Bucks, you see what you saw at Oregon with his speed, his hand, his ability. It showed when he played for the Bucks. So I do agree. Like the tape and the measurables don't match up, but I just feel like Aaron Anderson, like a Ted Johnson, if you put him on the field, he can be productive for you.
All right, who next?
I could go next if y'all want. I mean, Treydon Stukes is my player. Treydon Stukes. Man, I've turned on this guy film and I damn near got scared how much I liked him as a player. I'm gonna tell y'all now, like I haven't put out my safety list yet, but he is a top 3 safety for me in this class. Uh, I feel like he can play all over. And literally, when I say all over, like I wouldn't prefer him playing on the outside, but he can play on the outside because he has experience doing so. He can play some nickel for you. He can play in a 2 high structure. He can play some post. He's so versatile, and he's a willing tackler. He's a violent player. Like I like Treydon Stukes a lot, and I don't know why he's not being talked about more. Like I think he is the perfect weapon for the modern NFL. That positionless DB that you can throw out there and just show so many different looks because he's on that field.
Anybody with some feedback on Treydon Stukes? Well, when I watched him, right, I thought he had a lot of upside, right? I think when you look at him, he doesn't get talked about, obviously, because he went to Arizona, but also because he got some, some parts of his game that aren't as well rounded as some of the other guys in this draft. Um, and he might not be as liked as some of the other guys in this draft, but I do think like with the Caleb Downs and the McNeil Warrens, the never mind. I don't even want to say his name because he coming up eventually here. But yeah, that guy. I don't know. It's hard to put him in that top 3 range, top
But
4
yeah,
range.
I have him as my safety 3 in this class, and for me, I almost debated him making him safety 2. Like I was close. I like Stukes a whole lot, and I probably am higher on Stukes than a lot of people. Shout out to Amari. He put me on Stukes. I wasn't really watching him crazy before I seen him talking about him, but I went and looked, man, and I wasn't expecting to like it. Like I went and looked, I'm like, man, there's no way that this guy is this good. And just he was that good when I was watching him. I think he can play all over. I think that versatility that he has also should boost his stock. Like I said, this is a guy I think he can start for you at nickel day 1 if you need him to. But if you need him to move outside, I feel like he could move outside for you. Like I said, I think he could play deep in the post if you need him to. Like he can fill so many roles on a defense that him as a player, like I love his value. Like even I would take him in the 2nd round if I didn't draft Caleb Downs in the 1st. I would
I
do it.
do think he has high upside. I like the fluidity in which he's able to play the game. Um, I like physical safeties, and he is one of those guys. I think he has really good instincts when it comes to playing the field. So I do like by you talking about him. I did look up some stuff. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is a guy that kind of was under the radar for me. But looking at him, he has high upside. And I agree. I think you could play him anywhere in the backfield and he will find success. I just think his IQ for the game is just like that.
Um,
And I don't necessarily need a safety, but this is the guy if I had that need, yeah, go ahead.
I mean, for me, so I have this thing about DBs, right? Like, because for a long time with the Patriots, like we had shorter DBs, we had DBs that were under 6 feet. So I think that contributes to my thinking about DBs. I've grown to like taller DBs, and I mean, Stooks. That I mean, he's 6'2". And so if you haven't played the nickel, like he's a good size, like DB to only play the nickel. Um, I mean, he's like very fluid in his movements. Um, and so like, and I just like the physicalness that he plays with. So, and I mean, my team does need a safety. I mean, I don't think he's the kind of safety that we need. Per se, because I mean, like we're pretty much set. You know, like set in the nickel and all that. But he's definitely a good prospect. That's like I've seen more people talking about him over the last couple of weeks. So I mean, he's kind of gained. He's kind of gaining some like speed. In that, like I think the only thing I saw, like I haven't watched a lot of his tape, but a little bit of tape I did watch. Um, I'm not saying he takes poor like pursuit angles all the time in the run game, but I just think that's something that like he can improve upon. And that like I think if he does that, like what I mean, like he could be a really good value pick for like a team. So
I like his ball skills too, and he has good ball skills. I think just I think you could transition him to a corner if you wanted to. Like I think he's good enough to where you could play him. When I say literally any part of your secondary, I think he can play any part of your secondary.
yeah,
I
because I
think
think they have
Stooks is
listed
that
at the
good.
corner, like that's how he's listed right now. So
Well, I'm looking at him as just I'm I view the safety position for the most part as kind of like a positionless, like a weapon kind of thing now. Because I feel like if I had the opportunity to call a defense and I had three guys out there that all are kind of versatile, right? I can throw so many different looks at an offense and at a quarterback, and you literally don't know what's coming. Because what are you reading? Like, I mean, you can. I guess you could read the positioning on the field and stuff, but I just feel like the disguising and the things you could do, you could keep an offense off guard so much. So I value guys that have versatility very very highly as like safeties for me. And that's like a preference thing for me. But I just yeah, I think Stooks is the perfect modern day DB in the NFL.
J Mick, you
And
going
he's
next?
fast.
oh yeah, I can go next. So I mean, my guy is also a guy that I'm very familiar with. I mean, Oscar Dope, tight end out of Georgia. Um, to me, like talking about him, and I mean talking about like the tight end position at Georgia as a whole. Like I mean, we recruit like high base of tight ends at like 4 and 5 star tight ends. I think the main issue why my guy's underrated was because he just didn't get a lot of volume. I mean, when it came to the pass game, and he's not the only one at Georgia that wasn't getting it. Like a lot of the tight ends just weren't getting a lot of volume. And I just think that leads to him being a underrated player. Because like depending on what draft boards you look at, I mean, he's like he's ranked as like the 9th or 10th. I mean, like tight end in this particular class, and I actually think this class is a really good class of tight ends. I mean, like you have the names that everybody knows about from like Stowers to Jolly to I mean to Roush, and then the kid out of Oregon too. So we got a lot of names, and I just think he kind of falls under the radar. For me, some of his strengths, like he's got really good straight line speed. I mean, for a tight end. And you kind of seen that at his pro day when he ran the 40. I forgot what his 40 time was, but people were actually surprised of like what he ran in the 40. To me, he's got really reliable hands. I mean, he had a very low like drop rate throughout his time at Georgia. And like if you watch the film, like I mean, most times when when we did throw him the ball, he was going to catch it. Um, and I mean, if you watch the film of him, also like where he lines up, he can pretty much line up anywhere. I mean, like he can, like he can line up in line, and on the line of scrimmage. I mean, like you put him in the slot. I mean, like like you put him in the backfield as well. There's a lot of different places where you can line him up, and it's going to give your offense that versatility. I mean, because he can do that. I believe he averaged over 12 yards per catch throughout his career. So I mean, he was pretty consistent in that. Pass protection, he when he got to Georgia, it wasn't his strength, but like I mean over time he developed that. So I feel like he's good in pass pro. I mean he's also a really good run blocker as well. Um um that, and also I mean he reads zone coverage really really well. and he kind of knows where to sit down in that zone. You know, I mean, like, which is a skill that a lot of players might not necessarily have. So I mean, it's just something that he doesn't really have to develop. Um, and then also like once he gets the ball in his hands, like he has good acceleration for a tight end as well. I mean, like obviously he's not, you know, like he's not at the level of like Stowers, and like some of the other tight ends. Like obviously he's fast, but he's not as like fast as those guys. But but he does have that to his game. To me, some of the drawbacks of like Delp is probably like his narrow frame. And so the issue with that is, I mean, he's still a young kid, but I think pretty much what you have now, I mean, he might be able to put on a couple more pounds of like muscle, but I think pretty much from his frame, you know, I mean, what you have now is what you're going to get. So I wouldn't expect, like, you know, I mean, for some of these prospects, like some of them are going to grow into their like, their like NFL body. I'm not sure, like he's got much more growing to do. So I mean, like there's that. I mean, like sometimes when he's trying to catch the ball in like traffic, I mean, he's, you know, like it's not always a clean catch. So that's something that I would watch out for too. Um, and I mean, like it's kind of like what I said in the beginning. The reason why he's underrated is because his 4 years of tape, you know, like the production just wasn't quite there. And I mean, I partially blame the quarterback for that because, like I said, like we weren't necessarily throwing to the tight ends as much as we should have last year. I mean, like there are like a number of games where the tight ends were open and they just weren't getting the ball. This wasn't Oscar Del, but I mean, but it was also lucky as well. And so for those that know, like he's going to be our main tight end this year. I mean, and we had another tight end that got hurt last year as well. His name escaped me right now. But I mean, like if you're looking at tight ends for the 27 class, Lucky's a guy that you might want to look at. And then the other thing I'd say about like Delp is like after the catch, he's not going to give you a ton after the catch. Like he's not one of these super athletic guys that like he's gonna be like, you know, like he's not gonna be like a Stowers. Like, you know, Stowers after the catch is really, really good. Delp is pretty much after the catch is pretty much, you know, I mean, whatever he got, you know, I mean, before the catch, that's pretty much good as gonna be. I mean, like he might break a tackle or two, I mean, here and there, but it's not like a normal thing that he's gonna consistently do. So I mean, like I've seen him mock third, fourth round. And I just think if you get him in the fourth round, like I think you're gonna get a good value and you're gonna get a good solid like inline tight end.
No, I don't have no issue. I like Oscar Duck as a tight end. I think he adds some value also in his ability to block. I would agree. I think he's somewhere like the Zach Ertz type guy, J Mick. He don't really give you a lot after the catch. And if he, you know, kind of open, he gonna fight for a few yards, but it's nothing super explosive like about his yak. But I do like Oscar Dup, and I think I got like a fourth round grade on him. I think he could potentially sneak his way up into the early fourth round with the run. I think is gonna happen between the first and second round on tight ends. So it could be in one of those situations where he does end up, you know, early fourth round because people are like we don't want to take the chance of a guy not being there on our next pick. So I do like Oscar Dup. But I don't know. I felt like with Brock Bowers coming out, I think a little bit of the expectation for what he should have done, you know, taking over this year was a little higher than maybe should have been expected, which may even have tanked some of his stock a little bit because of what people wanted to see out of Oscar Duck compared to what he was as a tight end. So I do like this pick.
Yeah, I covered it on dope. I have notes here on players, but you hit most of everything that's on here, so it's not really much left to say on him.
I mean, but just to Smitty's point, like I think at Georgia, like I think Brock Bowers, like I love the kid, but I think he kind of like some of the tight ends that we have now, he's kind of hurting them because it's like when you have a talent like Brock, like everybody expects every other tight end to be somewhat similar to Brock and like his versatility. And like Brock to me is like, I don't want to say he's generational, but you know, I mean, like you're not gonna get a player like that all the time. And like when you try to, I mean, like we have good tight ends, but it's like they're not gonna be Brock. I mean, that's just the way it is. And I just like I kind of feel bad for some of them because it's like people expect them to be in that line of tight end, and like every tight end not gonna be like Brock Bowers. That's just the way that it is. Like Brock is, I mean, like I said, I won't call him generational, but I mean, he is a special talent. So I mean, there are like, when it comes to the tight end game, he could pretty much do everything. But the problem is every tight end is not going to be that way. I mean, there's certain tight ends that's really good at blocking, that the receiving thing is just not their thing, and it's vice versa. And so I just think some of these guys get kind of hurt because they're going to they're coming right after him, and they're going to the same school, and like people expecting a certain thing, and you're just not going to get that from these guys.
One of
Do
your
you have
tight
any more
ends
on
switched the
Oscar?
receiver, J-Mitt.
Say what?
One of your tight ends switched the receiver. One of your young tight ends. I mean, he might have been a freshman. I think he is a true freshman. Prothro.
Yeah, I mean,
using him as a tight end, as a wide receiver now, and I mean, it makes sense with the size and like the athletic profile that he has. But man, if that works out, that's gonna be nasty.
Yeah, I mean, like that's the one thing at Georgia that we're never short on is tight ends. And so I mean, we have them in all shapes and stuff. Like we have the guys that are on the lighter side. Like I mean, we had you guys like Darnell Washington, like who went to Georgia. That was is a mammoth of a guy for a tight end. So I mean, like Kirby know how to scout him, man. I mean, that's the one thing I can say about us and tight ends.
Does anybody want to add any more to Oscar Dupp, or was it covered well?
No, I think it was covered well. I'll just add this is he's just a solid tight end prospect. That if you grab, he's an instant plug and play guy.
All right, sir, you want to go? You want me to go?
Go ahead.
So I got Malachi Lawrence, 6'4", 253-pound edge rusher out of the UCF. He ran a 4.52 at the combine with a 40-inch vertical, 33.58 arms. So decent sized arms. I think Malachi Lawrence being at UCF, just kind of slept on talent. I think he has a lot of upside. He really does have a nice ability to rush the passer. I think he needs to work on his ability to set the edge in the run game with his size and his length. He should be a lot better at that, but sometimes he gets a little over antsy. He tries to just turn everything into go get the quarterback. He needs some more. I think this year he could have used a little bit more production in the sacks category. He only came away with 7 sacks this year. I think people were looking for him to kind of be more on the side of what he did in 2023, and to be going up. He started off with 7.5 sacks, and then he started to go down in the sack categories over the season. So they wanted to see him improve. I think he needs to add a few moves to his bag. He only has, to me, two prominent moves to get at the quarterback, and outside of that, he's kind of stagnant. But I think his motor, and his, I think he's going to be very coachable at the next level. I think Malachi Lawrence probably ends up getting drafted somewhere in the 3rd round, late 3rd round. But I think Malachi Lawrence is underrated, a guy coming out of here with some good speed at the edge with a 4.52. I think he can really provide you with a really good pass rusher, and with the right coaches, could be a 10 sack guy in the future.
Yeah, I like
Okay.
Malachi. He has active hands, and he's just a naturally bendy like athlete. And he's quick off the line for the most part. So I like him. I think he can definitely be valuable to somebody in that range, probably 3rd round, maybe late 2nd, 3rd round, somewhere around there probably.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like he's been mocked to us a lot in the 2nd round. Like I've seen a lot of mocks have us taking Malachi, and I do like him. Like I think he, he's got a lot of different moves. I mean, coming off the edge, I mean, he's got an explosive like first step, and he's got good length too. So I mean, that's also going to be good. I mean, also his combine testing was, showed his explosiveness. So So like those to me were you know I mean with the strength. Like the only thing I saw when I watched Tate that actually kind of concerned me is that like his like discipline on like misdirection plays and like play action. So I just think that's just something that he's going to need to work on. And kind of like what Smitty said, like his run defense is something that he's going to need to work on. Because if you watch the tape, in like gap and power schemes, like he gets washed out. So like I said, he gonna have to work on that. Like that. That's he's coming to the league, so I'm pretty sure whoever drafts him, is gonna have to work on that with him. Because once teams kind of figure out what your weakness is, like they're gonna test you, and so I'm pretty sure he's gonna get a lot of those play action plays, misdirection plays, um, and they're gonna run at him, and so. I don't think he'll be your best pass rusher or like edge, but he'll be in a rotation. So, and we'll just see how he can improve on those things.
Anybody want to add to Malachi Lawrence?
Yeah, I hope we draft him in the second round.
What? No, no. Hey, listen,
Huh?
man. Hey, look.
That's all I got to add. Okay.
So late second round.
Uh,
No, man. I might have to go ahead and take him in a second, man. Yeah.
you
All
and your
right.
300 draft picks.
I only got 9, brother. God, I got just as many as
Yeah,
you got.
I
I got
only
just as
got
many as you got.
9. I got 6. Okay. All
My
right.
bad, brother. My bad.
You almost got double what I got.
My bad. All right. So
Okay.
certified up.
All right. So my guy that I want to highlight is Bud Clark, safety out of TCU, 6'1", 190. He was a four-star recruit out of Louisiana. 9-inch hands, kind of below average. He did run a 4.41 40 at the combine. 38-inch vert, 10.5 broad. Both of those are above average. Now I only really have. I'm gonna get my complaints out now. He's a 6-year starter, so he is a little older. I haven't been able to confirm his age, but he's going to be somewhere around 23, 24 by the end of the season. Because like I say, he's a 6-year senior. He got hurt in 2021, so he only played like 3 or 4 games. Uh, and he isn't physical at all. Okay. Now, with that said, he's not afraid to come down and run support and make the hit, but don't expect him to lay the wood on nobody. Pause. It is more so of a like a grab and pull him down type thing, or like he occupy the ball carrier until help comes. But outside of that, man, I know I'm gonna get jumped for this, but I think that he is arguably the best true free safety in the draft. And I know Downs is out there, but it's like his anticipation, his ball skills, his hip sync, his flexibility, the way that he just explodes and high points the ball. He's led the nation in interceptions and pass breakups the last 3 years. If you throw that ball up there, he's going to find his way to it and he's going to make a play on the ball. But like I say, he is undersized. He's only 190 pounds, 6'1". So that is a concern of mine going to the next level, the physicality. But outside of that, man, I think he has superstar potential written all over.
Okay, Dre, hold, wait. Before you respond, let me get my analysis of Bud Clark in before you respond. Okay, so I do think a lot of what Certified said is very accurate. I don't rebut anything he says, but my only problem is I think Bud Clark is only like 175, 180 pounds max. I've seen a lot of times when he came down as run support, he was willing to run support,
Mm-hmm.
but he wasn't a great tackler in run support some of the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, I
Um,
agree.
and him being a ball hawk leads to like sometimes like in the back end, he kind of baiting quarterbacks, but then he over pursue. He gave up a couple big plays that I didn't like when I was watching the tape. But his ability to go get the rock is some of the best in this draft. Um, I like his versatility, his speed, how he moves over the field. He can cover, you know what I mean, from sideline to sideline. So I think, putting him back there and letting him kind of go do his thing is definitely in his wheelhouse. Um, I'm not of the guy to tell people that they need to gain weight, but I think if he wants to be a little bit more of a physical guy and be a thumper and kind of lay the wood, like he plays like that's how he plays when he come down and run support, like he gonna kill people. But then
Mm-hmm.
he remembers he's 180 pounds and he like, all right, let me do my best to just, but he will
Get
he
in the
will
way.
come down, he will
Yeah.
attack, he will help. You know what I mean? He's willing to put his hat in the huddle. So I do like Bud Clark. I don't. I think I got him somewhere in the third or fourth round. I think depending on how the safeties fall, he could be pushed up, just depending on if it's an early run or not. I do like Bud Clark. But now I'm gonna let Dre go ahead and respond because he finna.
First, first,
Yeah,
but
cause he got a thing for Caleb Downs. That's why.
well, no, they don't got nothing to do with Caleb. Because I look, it's nasty because I don't want to say too much because I'm actually gonna go from saying that a player is underrated or overrated to now defending him in a minute based off of something you just said. So, first of all, Bud Clark is not the best true free safety in this draft.
That's your opinion.
I like Bud, but he's not the best true free safety in this draft.
That's your opinion.
Uh, he's a willing a tackler. I do think he can be violent at the point of contact at times, not always, but um, he has great ball skills. He takes good angles. I feel like he's good in both man and zone. He's consistently around the football. He is very versatile. He has great hands, but like y'all said, he's undersized. He's undersized, and if he doesn't add some weight, he's not going to hold up at the next level. I like Bud a lot, but he has to put on some weight. He's he's not going to be able to because you can't have a missed tackle rate of 14.8% this past year when you're already supposed to be bigger and stronger than most of the people on the field because you're older than everybody. You've been in college for 6 years. I like if you don't have the physicality at that point, then I just don't feel like you're going to have the physicality at the next level to be able to consistently be an asset on the football field. So he has to put on some weight. Like he's going to have to work on his frame. That's my biggest concern for him. But it's not his play style. Like I love the way he plays football, and I do think he's probably somewhere in the third, fourth round.
So
Um,
I'm gonna say this though, real quick. My bad, Mick.
not
I hear
sure.
what you're saying, but Ed Reed was under 200 pounds. Reed was like
That's
186. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I agree with you for the physicality. Like we're used to seeing safeties come down and lay a hit on running backs, tight ends, or whatever. He's not going to do that, but he is going to make the tackle. And I left out something. Yeah, he's good at single high and two high, but he also he played a lot of press man nickel in the Senior Bowl, and he excelled at that too. I just again, my only drawback is his size, but again, he is a willing tackler. Him and uh, the the evaluation of him in Thieneman should be swapped 100%. Because the way that they talk about him, I don't see it. I see them talking about Bud.
All right, so here's my thing, right? Like Bud Clark, a lot of people like if you watch college football, like people knew about Bud Clark before the Senior Bowl, right? So, but for the ones that didn't, they watched Senior Bowl, and he stood out. Like he was one of the top performers at the Senior Bowl. So I'll give him a lot of credit for that. Like that's that says a lot about a player. My issue, he's an older player. Like his injury history is kind of and it's something that you got to pay attention to. Like for those that don't know, like he missed time in the 21 season, the 22 season, and the 25 season with injuries. And so he's an older player. He's got an injury history. So that's just something that you kind of got to keep an eye on. One of his strengths is that he's a ball hawk. One of his weaknesses is that part of being a ball hawk, he's over aggressive. And what that does is sometimes it can put him out of position. Sometimes the great thing about Bud though is he can put himself out of position, but like his closing burst to like undercut like routes and like a jump passing lanes is pretty elite. And I mean, you can kind of tell that by the amount of interceptions that he had. So one of his strengths is a strength in some aspects, and like it's a weakness in others. I mean, to me, like when you're watching him on film, he's good in man and zone. I mean, he's had a lot of reps at safety and the slot, so he gives you that versatility. But I mean, Bud is one of my favorite, safety prospects in this particular draft, which I feel like the safety class is also deep as well. Um, so I mean, like it's either I mean, with him, like I mean, there's the good and the bad, and I mean, like people say, he's an older player. And so for me, like whenever I'm looking at prospects, no matter what the position, I mean, sometimes I'm kind of skeptical of guys that are in college longer and their last year, like they have like a super year. So so I'm always careful to watch players like that. Like, but I mean, I think Bud will be fine. I think if the right team drafts him and puts him in the right scheme, I think it'd be a really good safety.
Now, Certified said something, and this is disgusting because, like I said, this is supposed to be my
Disgusting.
overrated player.
Don't do it.
The,
Don't do it. Don't do it, Dre.
Dylan
Don't do it,
Thieneman
Dre.
is
Don't
supposed
do
to
it.
be, he's supposed to be my overrated player for
He
this.
is.
Not after what you just said.
What do you
You're
mean?
undervaluing him too much. I still
No,
got
no,
him
no,
in
no.
my
I think
top
what he
five
said.
safety.
No, Dre. What I think he's
No, he
saying
said you
is,
should flip them two. That's
yeah, but he's saying the evaluation of Bud Clark should be the evaluation you get for how they talk about Dylan Thieneman, is what he's saying. I don't think he said they should be swapped. I think he's saying that's how
I'm
you
saying
should be
that
talking
too.
about Dylan. You should be having a conversation about how physical and fast and how he's a ball hawk and how he's doing all these things. But when you talk about him in a second, it's not going to be the same conversation. It's going to be a lot of negatives and very, very minimum positives.
I would take
Yeah,
Dylan Thieneman in the second before I take Bud Clark in the second.
man, you crazy.
Like I said, I got my safety rankings coming out, and I feel like Thieneman is overrated because I feel like people are going over the top. But I also don't think he's a bad player either. Like I do think
Yeah, I don't think you're a
he
bad player.
has as a true post state like a free safety. I think he is clearly the best in the class.
Oh
I
man.
don't think it's
So
close.
so let me clear something up. I when I said that like Bud isn't a combo safety. He's a free safety. But he will come down and tackle. Same thing with Thieneman. He's not a combo. Caleb Downs is a combo. But with that said, he's better at free safety than everybody. I think he's probably the second strong safety behind Buddy from LSU.
Oh,
But he's say what?
I think the LSU guy's name is AJ Halsey, right?
Yeah, AJ. Um, but all around, I feel like Downs is like human worry, but better. He has better ball skills. I feel like they're equal in the box, but single high, he's different. He's special. But the two free the two true free safeties to me are Thieneman and Bud, and I've seen too much film. of Thieneman where he's out there making business decisions, man. He wants no part of that running back. He wants no part of that tight end. Okay, he is overrunning
Hold on,
tackles.
not too much on Dylan because he a part of the show today. We
Okay,
not
my
gonna get
bad.
too
I
much into the
apologize.
evaluation. But
Let,
since
let
we
me let me
already are
stop.
at
Let me stop.
overrated players, I'm gonna let Dre give his presentation so Sir can finish. Uh, First on the list.
Go ahead and present.
So Dylan Thieneman was supposed to be my overrated player for this episode, but I guess it's turning more so into me defending him. I do have strength and weaknesses for him. I do think he has elite range as a deep safety. He has I think he has a high ceiling as strictly a free safety, but he doesn't have the versatility that some of the other guys do, and that's why I don't value him the way I value a couple of the other safeties in this class. But I think you put him in the right system. I still think he can be a really, really good free safety. I mean, not everybody's made for playing all over the place, and I prefer the guys that are versatile. Like I prefer the Caleb Downses, and when people are telling me that Dylan Thieneman is better than Caleb Downs, then yes, you're overrated. That's kind of where I'm at. Like, I don't think he's great in man coverage. I think he gets grabby at times. I don't think he has the most fluid of hips at times. Uh, I don't think his angles are always the best. And I think he arm tackles a lot. And like you said, there's times when he does the business decisions. So, like, I'm not. There's definitely a lot of weaknesses, and I don't think he's the perfect prospect that some people paint him to be. But I'm not going as far as you going with Bud Clark.
Oh man,
I'll
the
take
film don't
if
lie, dog.
Dylan Thieneman. I'll take Dylan Thieneman over Bud Clark.
You
If
bugging.
the draft is today, I'm taking Dylan Thieneman over Clark. Matter of fact, let me send you my rank. I'm gonna send you my ranking. But you go ahead. You start talking.
Man, don't send me nothing. I don't want to see. I don't want to hear. Okay, I say what I said.
All right. So anybody want to add?
I agree everything what you said about Thieneman, man. I do not think that he's a bad football player. I do not think that he's a bad safety. I do feel like his 40 and other things that I don't want to bring up have every year we have a combine darling. It happens every year. Like the sun will come up tomorrow, there will be a combine darling. This year it is Thieneman. Okay. He ran a phenom. What did he run? A 4.39?
Yeah, that was a 4.25.
4.35.
A 4.35?
Yep.
Yeah.
That 40 usually does it. That 40 usually does it. But the film, man, the film is telling me something different. Okay. And it's like he does not want to come downhill. He does not. He comes downhill like he wants to, but once he gets there, it's like, I mean, yeah, so I got a checking and a savings, so I got to take money out of my checking and put it in my savings so I can pull it out of my savings. So, nah, bro, nah.
So I take it that so we still on underrated or are we on overrated players?
Overrated.
We're on overrated, but based on this conversation, I think the roles kind of flip, and I'm saying that I feel like Bud Clark is being overrated right now. That's kind of how we got. That's how we got off schedule. But yeah, no, you overrated Bud Clark, man.
There is
That's
nothing that
nasty.
there is nothing that he does better than Bud.
Well, I mean, he's definitely not a ball hawk. He's definitely not a better ball hawker than Bud. That's for sure. He doesn't have the production to tell you that. Um, I mean, to me, I mean, I have Dylan as the third best safety. Like that's how I have him rated as the third best. And I understand that there's some people that feel like Dylan should be the fourth, fifth, or sixth. but I also think it's the scheme that you put Dylan in. Like I think if he gets drafted to the right team, like I think it'll be fine. But I do actually agree with Certified on certain things. Like if you ask Dylan to do things that I don't feel that he's good at, then it can look it can go pretty bad for him though. That's the one thing I would agree with. Um, so I just think he's he got to go to the right team and the right scheme. I think think he'll be fine. I mean, when it comes to safeties, like I think we make too much out of the 40 times, man, because one of the best safeties in the league, his draft status got dropped. I mean, like Kyle got dropped because he ran a slow 40. And like to me, like safeties, like I would love my safety
Xavier
to be,
McKinney too, J
like
man.
a blazer when it comes to speed. But like I don't speed is not the end all be all for me. Like for me, the end all be all is the instincts. Like if you show that you have the natural instincts of a safety, then I could deal with a slower 40 time. So
All right, so I'll give my draft comp on him. I have some good notes here. I think when I look at Dylan Thitterman, my biggest issue with him is his ability to get off the block when they get to the third level. I think when people get hands on him or he has to come down and play the slot and they slide out and they're moving in one of those like where they're crashing down on him and they get hands on him. He doesn't get off the block uh, really well. You know what I mean? He kind of we watched a few of them, Dre, where he was like kind of just like to the ball, but he still was had hands on him and the play get made and then he gets
Your audio is cooked, Smith.
Yeah, that's okay. I didn't know if it was me or him, but yeah. Uh, who else got something about Thunderman? I know Pop. What's your
I
take
think
on
he
Thunderman?
I think he takes bad angles at times. The combine speed in which he showed doesn't show up on film for me. I also doesn't don't think he tackles very well in open space. And
See, I
I do
disagree. I
think he
feel like the
has.
speed does show up. It just doesn't. It might not show up when he's triggering downhill, but I think his range, like playing deep, the reason he's so good playing deep is because of the speed that he has. Like I think you
Yeah.
see it there. You just don't see it when he's coming downhill. You just some guys. It's some
That's
for some
that's
guys. It's a
fair, but
mentality
I
thing.
just the
It,
that's fair, Dre. But still, I just think like you don't like you take poor angles a good bit of the time, and the speed I'm expecting you to be able to catch up and make that play. I'm seeing consistently you're whiffing on on your
it,
tackle. Like
If you took
it,
Dylan Thinnerman and mixed him with Robert Spears Jennings, you would have Caleb Downs.
but you can't.
I know, but that's what you would have because Robert
But
Spears Jennings he ran a 4.32, but go watch if you watch him, he's so stiff it don't matter. But he triggers downhill running a 4.3. Man, you see that man move backwards, you would think that man run a 4.7. Like
listen, bro.
it's just some guys don't. It doesn't click for him, man. Dylan's better
And,
playing deep. He's
and,
not great at coming up, but he's for sure the best post player in this draft, though. Like,
Y'all hear
okay,
me
so
now?
all
yeah,
strictly
I
post
heard
but
when
player.
it came
but
comes to
it's
run support, I should not trust enemy on being able to get the job done.
Yeah,
That's what I heard.
and it's
I
something
mean,
that I left out that me and Smitty was watching the film. Uh, he was a phenomenal athlete at the combine, but he that didn't show up every Saturday because it was a few times where he was out of position and he got beat over the top, and it was a considerably slower wide receiver, and his effort to walk him down just wasn't there. I'm not saying that it happened every time, but it was a few times he showed no dog on the play. He gave up. So I want to see that 4-3-5 every time, dog. Not just when you got on t-shirt and shorts.
Can y'all hear me now? Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can.
All right.
Hey,
So
hey Smitty, you remember that the few times he gave up on the play when he got beat over the top?
yes, sir.
All right, because I
All
don't
right.
want people think I'm lying.
All right. So I think I was talking about his ability to get off the block. I think if you put him in where he has to come down in the box and he's playing either slot or he's playing that box safety role, when they get hands on him, he doesn't have a real propensity to get off. I think his ability in man coverage is very limited. Um, Dre already said it. His change of direction, his lateral agility, limited. Um, I think his missed tackle rate in open space needs some help. I seen a few times when he came down to fill the hole to make a play, and he ended up on his back. That to me has to be fixed a little bit. Um, but I think like his ability to play open space in the back end and kind of control air control, and be more of that free guy who stays up top. I think it's his best role. I think it's a few if you get him in a team where he has a partner who's more of a box safety, he's more of the I roam free safety. You could pair him up and probably have a good tandem. But I think if you ask him to do some of those things where he has to play in the box, he has to play in the slot. He has to make those tackles in the run game. You're gonna have some things to work on to get him where you need him to be. But I do agree with this one that Dylan Thieneman is overrated. Um, I got him. I don't know if I got him at 3 like Jay Mick. I think when you start evaluating Dylan Thieneman with some of these other guys, it's a really, really, really close battle. But I also think certified might have put Bud a little high. You know what I mean? But I think
Did
Dylan
he
Thieneman
cut out
definitely.
or?
What y'all think I got,
Oh,
Bud?
okay.
I don't know. You said he was better than Dylan, and I
Yeah,
still got Dylan somewhere in
sound
the.
like you got Bud in your top five safeties. What it sound like?
I do. I do. Y'all want to hear it?
Go ahead.
Or
All right. Downs, McNeil, AJ, Bud, Kilgore, Ramsey, Dylan, Genesis, Wheatley, and then VJ Payne. That's my top 10.
My whole thing about Kilgore is, man, I've heard some people talk about him playing safety. I've heard some people talking about playing him at corner too. Like
Hmm.
He's a weapon. He's another one of those weapon guys.
Yeah.
He's a guy I like a
Yeah.
lot. But
Yeah,
look,
it
real last
varies.
thing
Like
on
some sites
Cinnamon.
have him at corner um, for a nickel, and some sites got him at safety. But he could do it all.
Last thing on Cinnamon. For what it's worth, the year where he played the most free safety was his most productive year. It was actually his true freshman year. He
Yeah.
played 86% of the snaps as a free safety as a true freshman.
Mm,
He
4 years
had
ago.
2 forced fumbles and 6 interceptions that season. I'm just saying that's when he played the most free safety. He was most effective. Since then, he played about almost a 50-50 split. It was actually more 55-45 free and in the box. And the production, it wasn't the same. So I think he's also more comfortable playing up high, honestly. And I think you put him in that role, I still think you're getting a really good player. And I wouldn't be mad at taking him in the second round. I just don't think he's better than a few of the other guys in this class.
So what you got, Bud?
Go check the group chat.
Where you got Thinner?
I got Thunderman in my top 5. Bud in the top 10. Barely, but he in it.
Oh, okay.
I
I got 15.
actually had a comparison in my notes, with these two actually, Bud Clark and Thieneman. It was kind of crazy because they almost like the same size. Pause.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, like that 180 range. Um,
No,
and I said,
Thunderman is 202.
Yeah, he's well over
That's
200 pounds.
22 pounds. That's a big difference. I'm just saying.
Well, they said
All right.
well, when I was reading, they saying Bud Clark is plays at about 185, and they had
But I
in
think at
this
the combine he weighed in at 188 though. I think that's
yeah,
what.
and then I seen one where what's the call it was only like 200, so maybe I was a little bit off, but 12 pounds is a little bit of a difference. But to me, I had them kind of similar, and I said Bud Clark had a little bit more explosiveness when going to attack the rock, but I said they both had questionable tackling and physicality at times.
I mean, but you do know, like out of the whole safety class, like he's like the lightest safety.
Who Bud?
Yeah, like most of the safeties in
Wait,
this class are like 200 pounds. Like,
he lighter than Kilgore.
well, that's if you did see, like that's the thing is like if you consider Kilgore to be a safety, then I think Kilgore is him and Kilgore. I'd have to look up Kilgore because I'm not sure exactly how much he weighs.
I can look in. Hold on. Do I have it? Where are my notes at on Kilgore?
It just depends how you view Kilgore. I'm trying to find him. I
I
can't.
thought he was like a buck 85. I could be wrong.
Kilgore's 210.
Oh, well, let me. My bad. I'm
Yeah,
way
so
off.
then yeah, like Bud Clark is literally one of the smallest, safeties in the class.
I don't.
So
It might just be the frame too, man. Like everybody don't wear weight the same either. It's like
yeah, that's true.
some people 205, they look like they're 220, and some guys are 205 and you think they're 180. So like everybody doesn't wear weight the same. It's a
Y'all want me to go
frame thing.
next? Y'all want me to go next
Sure.
before Certified go with his crazy take?
Now why I gotta be crazy?
All right, I got Mr. Arvell Reese. My first issue with Arvell Reese and why I say he's overrated, I think to me, he's a 1 year full time starter. I think he did have a good season in that 1 year, but I think he's only had 1 year. Um, I think his ability to sometimes be in coverage is a little bit lack. Um, and I think if in the run, him being an anchor is going to be an issue. I just don't see it. I do like what he had to offer in the speed, but I think he lacks in his pass rush technique. I don't think he really has a lot of moves, but I think he does. Obviously, in college, him being as athletic as he is, he sometimes just relies on just being the bigger, faster guy and just kind of beating the tackle. I don't think that's going to be necessarily always the option in the NFL. So he is going to um, have to mix it up. He more of a pure speed guy, no, not really a power guy. But I think Arvell Reese to me is overrated. I think I would have wanted to see more reps um, out of him, so I wouldn't be kind of in that. Is he a linebacker? Is he an edge? I would like to see a little bit more over maybe a 2 year period of really where he stands because in the 25 and 24 season, like watching the tape, he still kind of isn't leaning towards a position. So I don't really necessarily know coming into this draft, am I playing him as an outside linebacker off ball linebacker? Am I playing him at edge? I just to me having that question mark going into the draft, I do think he's still a great talent, but having that question mark, we've seen it before. You get in, what teams are trying to figure out where you thrive at the best, then you end up off kilter a little bit. So Arvell Reese is my guy.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of tweeners. And I think he's too much of that. I do think his athletic ability kind of gives him some upside, but again, he's a tweener, and it, we see those type of players have. It's very few of them that are very successful. Um, I think he's still growing at the position, at the edge rush position. I think he's still kind of a young talent there. I'm just not sold on him being the best rusher in the class. I'm just not. And his again, him being a tweener is my biggest question mark.
Yeah, for me, man, I agree with what Pop's saying. He's a tweener. I don't feel like I feel like he's kind of good to okay at a lot of stuff, but I ask people all the time, what does he excel at? Like, what is he great at? And I'm not taking anything away from this young man because he's 100 times better athlete that I ever could think of being. But I honestly feel like he's a product of his environment. You got Caleb, you got Sonny. Um, those guys put him in a kind of. I'm this is gonna sound bad. I just feel like he benefited um mostly on that defense with the talent around him. What's the tackle? What's the DT?
Caden
Um,
McDonald.
yeah, McDonald. Like he had a lot of like I can tell you uh what McDonald excels at. I could tell you what Caleb Downs excels at. I could tell you what Sonny Styles excels at. I can't tell you what Aubrey Reese excels at. I mean I'm not saying that he doesn't, but I don't see it. You know, I you know I wouldn't be mad if somebody made me a believer. Um, I just feel like kind of like I'm gonna say about my guy. Um, he's getting drafted too high to be a guy. I don't think that he is the guy.
So I've been on this Orville Reese overrated train for a while, man. This is not a new bandwagon that I've been on. I've been on this for a while. And there's a couple of reasons why I say this. Like it's been said, he's a tweener. Like one of his strengths are his versatility, but it's also a weakness as well because it's like Certified said, like you're not exactly elite at anything. It's like you're good at a bunch of things, which is good. It's like it's good to be to have that versatility, but it also speaks to the fact that you're not elite in one area either. When you're competing with like if he's going to play the edge 100% of the time, you're dealing with guys like Bailey and Ruben, who this is what they do. They are edge players. They are really good at rushing the passer. And then my other drawback of Arvell is he only had one full year as a starter, and it's not. The thing is, I'm not blaming Arvell for this because he's at Ohio State. Like he's at a program that's constantly turning out pro talent year after year after year. So you can't like unless you're like Jeremiah Smith or like Ohio State, where you're gonna play because you're just the elite of the elite. So you're gonna play regardless. But in an Arvell situation, they've had a lot of talent there. So it's kind of to his detriment as well, because like I said, he's only had one full year as being the starter. But in that one year, I mean his production was good though. Um, I mean to me, like he doesn't have like natural push pass rush instincts either. And so it's just something that he's gonna have to work on. Like his like pass rush plan is not the greatest to me. Like he needs to develop that more. Um, I mean, but the one good like I'm giving off like a lot of bad things. Like I think he's a good player. I just think he's being overrated because I mean there are a lot of people that market him to the Jets at number two. And I don't have him as the best pass rusher or edge in the class, and I don't have him as the best off ball linebacker. So that's what has me calling him overrated because I think two is too high for him. Like I mean, for a guy that I don't really know exactly what his position is going to be, like I just wouldn't, like teams that are drafting in that area of the draft, they need a short thing, and I'm just not sure the Arvell Reese is a short thing. Um, I mean, but the one, I mean, like I'll give you some good things about him. Like I said earlier, like his versatility is one of his strengths. I mean, he can line up all, like as an off the ball linebacker, or I mean, you can put him on the edge. His like sideline to sideline speed with his closing burst is really really good. And I mean, he can diagnose run plays pretty well. So I mean, I mean, like, I mean, like those are some good things. Like his tackling for the most part is good as well. So I mean, those are some good things. I gave you some bad things. Like I think he's a good player. I just think he's being overrated.
Uh, yeah, I agree. I don't think he's the number two pick in this draft. I do think he's a first round prospect, but I don't think he's the number two pick in the draft. I think he has. I mean, the athletic upside, man. Like, I get it. He hasn't played a lot of football, but it's just the upside of him as an athlete. Like, he projects so well to the NFL, but it's about him living up to the projection. And can he live up to the projection? And my question about that is, well, not even so, more so my question, but some things that he would need to do for me to be comfortable with taking him there. He's definitely going to have to get a lot better than he's going to have to get better in coverage. I feel like he can also um just I mean just overall polish his game. Like he's unpolished. He's a raw prospect. Like you can mold him and shape him, and it's similar to how like some coordinators look at their quarterback. Like they see a raw prospect and they say, "Hey, I can mold this guy into the guy that I want him to be." And I think they see the athletic upside of Arvell Reese and say, "We can do the same with him." And the film was good. Like it's not that he had bad film or anything like that this season. I mean, I just don't think he's like I don't think he's better than Sonny Styles. I don't think he's better than Caleb Downs. I don't think he's. I mean, there's other players that I don't think he's better than, but even just on his team, his own team, I think if it wasn't based off of strictly projection with him and more so about just the whole overall volume of the player as a prospect, I don't think there's any way that he goes before Sonny or Caleb. I think people are just infatuated with him.
Well, I think they're infatuated with his versatility. Like I think that can be like a do or die trait sometimes. And so like his ability to do a lot of different things has people higher on him. And plus, like I said, he's only a starter for 1 year. So like teams are expecting his, like his game to grow not just on the edge, but as an all ball linebacker as well. I just think, like that's just a dangerous thing because you're expecting him to grow in two different positions. And I mean, like once you get to the NFL, like you kind of got to show me what you have. And so I just think that's a kind of dangerous way to look at it to me.
I disagree. I'm telling you, I think that some of these defensive coordinators are looking at these players and they want to get as positionless as possible. Like I think that that they're trying to get basically positionless football on the defensive side, and obviously you'll never get truly positionless, right? Because you got to have certain frames, certain body types, stuff like that. But Arvell is a guy that because he has the versatility and you can line him up in different ways, or at least we're projecting him to be able to line up in different ways. Some of it is based on what he did this past season. Some of it is also just the athletic traits. I can see how a team could fall in love with the thought of drafting Arvell Reese. It's just about can you mold him into that player? Because I see the player that like they're seeing. I'm just a little more hesitant, and I'm not as fast to bet on the upside with him at the top of the draft. Like I would rather bet on the sure thing. Like I think Caleb is a sure thing at the top of the draft. If I'm picking number two, if I'm a Jets fan, I'm still right now I'm advocating for the Jets to take Caleb number two instead of any of these edge rushers, honestly. But it's that's the good thing about like the draft and draft season. It kind of comes down to just what you value and what you kind of view as the direction of the team on how you view the prospects, kind of.
Yeah, I agree. And then to kind of build off that, I'm going to talk about a player I think is slightly overrated, which is David Bailey. Um, he had great production this past season, but when I'm looking at him, he relies a lot on his speed and strength. He Because he rushes standing upright at times, the tackle is able to get their hands on him and stonewall him. He doesn't really have a lot of moves to shed that block. When he is able to use his speed to get around the tackle, you do see his explosiveness, his speed on being able to get that goal behind, tackle for loss, or even get the sack. But a lot of times when I was watching some of his games from last year, it's once that speed gets stopped, there's nothing else. Like there is no, you're not using your hands to kind of displace the tackle's hands. At times in the run game, you get washed out. Um, I do think he does have high upside with his athletic ability, but he's a raw product as an edge rusher, in my opinion. I think if you get a D coordinator, they can mold him into becoming also a great, potentially elite prospect. I just do not think he has all of it together right now.
I
All right.
agree.
Who wants next?
I'm gonna go ahead and get it out the way.
Well, let me just comment on Bailey. Like, I don't
Oh,
necessarily like
okay.
to me, Bailey is like he's a guy that you got like. I'm only drafting him if I'm specifically looking for a guy to rush the passer. Like I'm not gonna
Hold
say
on,
like,
hold on, not too much because he a part of the show.
well, no. I'm talking about David Bailey. I'm not
Yeah,
talking
he a
about.
part of the show.
She was just talking about David Bailey though.
She already introduced David Bailey.
Yeah, she already did.
Damn. Oh, I ain't even know. All right.
Yeah.
Good.
So my thing is, like I said, like a team like the Chiefs, I think David Bell is a perfect fit for him as like a team like the Chiefs. Like the Chiefs have the ability to stop the run with, I mean, Chris Jones on the inside, and they need someone to get to the passer. Like that's what they need, like for me. And so I feel like a team like that is perfect for Bailey, where all I need you to do is rush the passer. Like now, versus if you need a team like the Jets or the Commanders or teams like that that need an edge that can not only rush the passer but stop the run. I don't think he's a good fit for those teams because I think like one of his weaknesses is like playing against the run. And I also feel like he's over, like he's just over aggressive in pursuit sometimes. And like when you do that, like and you leave gap, when you're over aggressive and you're not, like playing in position where you're supposed to be and you leave empty spots. Um, and so I just think he got to work on that. Like he's got to work on, when he goes against, like zone read concepts, he's got to work on that as well. Because he's not decisive in his reads. So when you're not decisive going against zone reads, you're gonna find yourself in a no man land, and that's not where you want to be. So I mean, he's got to work on that. But as far as like I said, his strength is pass rushing. Like, I mean, he's like his first step is pretty freakish. And so like, and I don't think he's just a one move kind of guy. Like, yeah, I mean, his main thing is speed, but he has several moves off of the speed. I'm not sure if he's ever going to be like a speed to power, like power to speed guy. I don't know if he's ever going to do that, like because that's just not really his strength. I mean, I don't have him as my number one edge in the class, um, but I definitely have him in like the top 3 to 4.
He's not the best edge in the class, but I think he has an elite get off, and I do like you see the flashes of the speed to power at times. It's there. It's just not. It might not be as matured as you would like it to be at this stage, but I mean, these guys are prospects coming into the NFL. They're not going to be finished, refined products for the most part. Like most everybody in this draft has things that they can improve on and get better at. So I like David Bailey. I still think he's a first rounder, but I agree. Like I wouldn't take him number 2 at this point, but I could see why a team like the Jets are taking an edge at 2 because edge is just one of those premium positions, and it's a position of need for them. They're not just taking BPA; they're taking what they feel like they need the most.
I think when you look at David Bailey on the tape, to me, I like his bend. I think he has the ability to get around the edge and get at the quarterback. But I think like when you look at him, the reason he's probably being mocked a little bit higher is because of I don't want to talk about the guy, but the short arm guy. Obviously him coming out having the short arms that he did David Bailey being more the prototypical edge with the size and arm length and weight and things of that nature. Um, but I think I agree with everybody else on the panel. Like when you look at David Bailey, he's pure pass rusher. More than likely, I think the outcome of what's going to be is probably somewhere on third down ish, unless he somehow improves some of the weaknesses he has in the run game and his ability to do those things. But I think he has a lot of upside. But I think coming out right now, I wouldn't want to draft him as high as people are. So I've seen him at 2, I've seen him at 4, I've seen him in a lot of different places. But I don't know if he's necessarily needed to be drafted that high with what he's bringing to the team initially from the start.
I think he's a bona fide top 10 pick though. Like I don't think he's number two, number three in the draft, but I think if he falls out of the top 10, I still think it's crazy.
Yeah, but I think if the Chiefs are there, if he's there at 9 and the Chiefs are picking, I don't think the Chiefs passing on him though.
He's a top 10 talent for sure
Yeah,
still.
but I just think the issues with him against the run are real live issues that if you drafted, you're gonna have to deal with. And I think if you don't have the interior on your team already, like I'm not sure I would want to draft him at that spot. That's the only thing. That's why I said the Chiefs, because I know the Chiefs interior is all set with Chris Jones.
Yeah, I think if a team if a team already has like some solidified pieces on the D line and you add Bailey to that, yeah, that's a potent mix right there. But if you're expecting him to be able to consistently set the edge or be a dominant force in the run game, it's just not there for him.
All right, certified, you up.
Man,
So,
this man is crazy. This is a crazy man.
right. Yeah. So my overrated player is going to be Ruben Bain Jr. I feel like people are putting way too much stock into this last season. Um, if he had a history of doing what he did against multiple different programs, I would understand that. But I'm looking at the level of competition that he played in the ACC. Okay, I'm looking at the tackles that he went up against in the playoffs, and I just don't see it. All right, he's 6'2", 260. All right, uh, he's below average in height, average weight, bad arm length, bad hand size. All right. Um, I don't, the same thing that I said about Arvell Reese. Can't think of one thing that he's great at. And I feel like drafting him in the first round, I don't care where it is, drafting him in the first round is the wrong thing to do because he is not going to. So his comp would be what was it? I almost forgot that fast. What was the guy from the Chargers? Melvin Ingram. That's his comp. Okay, same height, same weight. Melvin Ingram played 12 seasons. He had 10 and a half sacks twice. For the most part, he was somewhere around 5 to 6 sacks. That was his max. The other 10 seasons that he played, a lot of fours, a lot of fives. I just don't, if I knew what Melvin Ingram would be, I was I don't know where he was drafted, but I know it wasn't day one or day two. Okay, I wouldn't change that. I feel like he can be effective if he's put around somebody that is the guy or a group of guys. But to draft him in the first round and expect him to be a difference maker, expect him to be the guy that makes things easier for everybody else, it is not going to happen. There are things that he does very bad. Okay, he has very poor closing speed. Okay, he's not overly strong. He is strong, but he's not overly strong. Another one of his comps was Dwight Freeney. I don't even know how much faster Freeney is than him because he didn't run the 40.
Real
Okay.
quick, Melvin Ingram was a first round draft pick
Oh,
in
okay. My bad.
2012. He was drafted
Well,
at pick 18.
I wouldn't draft him in the first round again. Um, Looking at his career. But I don't know what his three cone is. I don't know what his shuttle is. I don't know what his 40 is. But I'll jump out there and say that Dwight Freeney is faster than him than all of that. Okay. On top of the fact that even though their measurables were the same, Dwight Freeney had a signature move that nobody has been able to duplicate, even to this day. He doesn't have that. He puts his heads down in when he's in run support. Uh, that's not going to work in the NFL. He's going up. He's going to be going up against better tackles, stronger tackles, much smarter tackles at the next level. And I feel like he's going to flash now and then against really bad teams. But when he goes up against the elite guys, he's going to look like a backup.
Go ahead, Dre. Don't be quiet now.
I, I'm at a loss for words. I, I don't know, man. I'm at a loss for words right now, man. Just damn,
I
damn.
mean, the craziest thing
You've
to
been a
me,
prisoner of the moment.
yeah, but the crazy thing to me is a lot of people have him listed as edge number one, like ranked. Like he's the best edge in the draft. A lot of people have him as edge one. And to say he's not a first round talent is kind of crazy.
Who's he
Like,
going to make better? Who is he going to make life easier for? Nobody.
I mean, if the Browns draft him, I mean that's a certified. I mean, with Miles and the kid they drafted from Michigan last year that plays on the interior, and I mean him on
Miles
the
is going to
edge.
make him
That's
better. He's not going to help Miles Garrett. Miles Garrett is going to help him.
okay, but I'm not saying he's going to be Miles Garrett though. Like, I mean, like the way you talking about the kid is, I mean, what you just said, he's not a first round talent, which I don't even agree with that. Like to say he's not a first round talent, I don't even know how to even get like normally, like I'll say it like this. Normally in drafts, edges. I mean, in your average edge class, you're probably going to get about in the first round. You're probably going to get about 5 to 6 edges in a normal class. Like to me, like to say he's not a first, like that's like somehow in some shape or form. I'm drafting at 31. If Ruben Bain is there at 31, I'm running up and I'm drafting Ruben Bain. Like, I mean, just what his
Shitting me. We gonna been ran at 23 already. Shit.
I mean, not to say he doesn't have any weaknesses. He does. Like his arm length is a definite weakness because the problem with that is if the tackles he's going against gets their hands on him, like that's where his short arms is going to come into play. So I'm not going to deny that that's a disadvantage. Like that's definitely a disadvantage. But to me, Ruben Bain is able to rush the passer and play the run pretty effectively. And so just like talking about Bailey, I can't say that. Bailey to me is like he's not going to set the edge well, but I feel like Ruben Bain can set the edge. Like that's one thing he can do well. Now, one thing I would say is that I don't expect you to draft Ruben Bain. Ruben Bain gonna give you 20 sacks or 15 sacks per season. Like I don't think you're gonna get that kind of production out of Ruben year to year. But I think he can give you like 10 to 11 sacks a year. I think you can expect that kind of production out of him. I mean, now more than that, I mean, and you're on your own. Like I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna tell you he's gonna get you 15 a year. And I feel like Ruben converts speed to power, like like at a natural ability. So I mean, like that's one thing. I mean, like his first step quickness is pretty good as well. Like I wouldn't say it's like super elite like Bailey's is, but I mean it's still really good. I mean he's a real effort guy. Like he's got a pretty good motor. So I mean he's going to give you all he's got out there. I mean, he's not going to quit on plays a bunch of times either. And I mean, as you've seen in the college football playoff, like he performed well in the big moments. Because I want to say what he had 4 or 5 sacks in the college football playoff games that they played. Um, and so I get it. He was playing opposite of a Mesidor. I mean, like those, like that was a good combo. But with those Miami teams, like like people were giving him a lot of attention as well. So
How many tackles did he go up against that's going to get drafted?
So
I
real
mean, how
quick,
many? Say that again.
How many
Catholics
tackles did
versus
he go up against that's going to
look,
get
he
drafted?
certified. You ever heard of Catholics versus convicts? You ever heard of that?
Nah, nah.
No, Catholics
I
versus
don't. I don't
convicts.
like analogies.
No, 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 no. It's actually the
You
name
know what the
of
game?
the game. Catholics
Nah, I
versus
ain't never heard
convicts.
of it.
No,
Nah, I ain't never heard of it.
that's that's
You in
the
the
that's
ACC and you ain't never heard of
Miami.
that?
That's Miami.
Nah.
Drake cutting out. I'm not
Yeah,
sure if
he is.
it's me,
See, thank
but
you. I
Yeah,
appreciate
what
he
that.
what he
definitely
was
cutting out.
saying, that's the Miami versus Notre Dame game series name.
Hmm.
Catholics versus convicts.
I think
Am I
I think
cutting out?
nah, you good. But I'm gonna give a little breakdown, right? So I agree with Jay Mitt what he said about the college football playoff run. I think like
Can y'all hear Smitty? Cause I can't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we can
we,
hear
we,
him.
you might have to leave and come back.
I'm gonna leave and come back.
I wait for him,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
I'll wait for him real quick. See, I did my homework, man. I did my homework a little bit, man. I did my homework a little bit, man. I don't like this. I don't like this.
I mean, the
Gotta
first
have a
saying he's not a
conversation.
first round talent, boy. That was kind of wild. I ain't gonna lie to you. And I mean, that's coming from someone that needs an edge in this draft.
That boy better not listen. I ain't gonna lie to you. Messing around with Howie, that boy better not fall out the top 15. But Howie gonna be running to the trade. Hey, look, man. Let me see what I can trade to get that man in here. I do think Ruben Bain has some elite traits though, man. I really do. I think his power to what I mean, his power and play strength. Like I just think he does that at an elite level when he's setting the edge. Um, he plays it so well. I heard certified with his Melvin Ingram and blah blah blah. I think I think that's all well and good. I do have Dwight Freeney and Melvin Ingram down as some of my draft comps. I also have James Harrison and Brandon Graham on this list too. Um,
Okay.
I think James Harrison it differentiates because he's more of a stand up edge than a hand in the dirt edge. So that
Man,
kind of
he's
separates him a little bit.
freakishly strong.
I think well you wasn't here, but I do think Ruben Bain natural playing strength is elite. I think he does have a lot of strength in his game when he plays. I think he's able to be very violent with his hands at the point of attack. Um, I think I think his leverage in situations of that nature is also one thing he does well.
Hmm.
Jay Mick said it best. His explosiveness first step. I think he has one of the best motors you want to see in an edge coming out this draft. His IQ, his natural IQ off the edge is one of those things. But you give him a lot of slack. I think he is, and I'm not gonna change my stance on it. The best edge rusher in this class. And I still stand on that. I know his arm length is a big issue. I think there's ways to play around, those type of things that he has going on with his arms. But that college football playoff run against Ohio State, 6 pressures, 1 sack. Um, he looked almost unblockable against one of the best offensive lines. Uh, versus Texas A&M, he had a sack and an interception to ice the win. Uh, and then against, I don't got the Indiana written down. I must have forgot to write it down.
I want to say he had a sack against Indiana too, or two sacks against Indiana. But he had a stretch. I also had the Notre Dame game down. He played really well against Notre Dame. He also had a really good game against Ole Miss. Um, he had a game. He had a really good game against Florida this year. So I think that he has some things to work on. Obviously, when you have short arms like that, you come into the NFL. You have offensive tackles. Obviously, they get paid millions of dollars to figure out your weaknesses and execute the game plan to keep you from being where you need to be. So um, I don't think he's overrated, but I do think he has some things to add to his game. I still have Ruben Band as the best edge rusher in the 2026 draft class.
And I think another thing I look at is like every left tackle on every team ain't good either. Like it's, and I mean, he's not only going to rush from the left side. I mean, most edges on teams like they're switching sides throughout the game. So it's not like he's going against the best left tackle in football every single game. I mean, he's going to get from week to week, he's going to get favorable matchups. And so it's just what he can do with those favorable matchups.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm
Yeah,
just
I
thinking
mean, if he
about
see Will Campbell, well,
oh,
Did
my fault.
anybody
Go
have
ahead,
any
Pop.
anybody in
nah,
their
keep
evaluation
going
have any
however you
teams
want
they
to.
think Bane should get drafted to before Pop go? The people that went, did y'all have any teams on that list?
I mean, I think the Jets should draft him honestly. I mean,
Who'd
the
you have,
Jets,
Joy?
Jets are the Cardinals.
But I
Certified?
mean, he should.
Oh,
Yes, he
Good.
should be going to the Jets.
Okay,
He should go
okay,
to
let's
the
say
Jets.
let's say for instance he make it past two.
Then
I
he
mean,
should
I
go
think
3.
you should
He should
go
go to
three
the Cardinals. He should go to the Titans. He should go to the Browns. He should go to the
Browns.
Commanders. He could go to the Saints. He could go to the Chiefs. He could go to. If I'm looking at all these teams in the top 10, Ruben Bank can go to all of them.
because they all need edge rushers. Every single last one
Exactly.
of them. I mean, the only
I was
wait, wait, wait,
outside of
wait, wait,
one.
wait,
Except
wait, wait.
except
Yeah,
for the
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, like, yeah,
Giants.
let me
That's the
finish.
only team.
The only
Outside of
team that,
one.
the Giants are the only team that doesn't need an edge.
But
That's it.
everybody else, once you get to two down, yeah, you
They all
can
need
draft
edges.
Ruben Blaine.
I mean, shoot. I mean,
But
even the Bengals at 10 need an edge too.
so to the point y'all were making about Bane, like how he plays well in the big moments too. Because I don't know what happened. My service got disconnected. Had some issues there, but Notre Dame Catholics versus convicts. That's like a big game for them, right? And he showed up in that game to open the year. He came out. He had a forced fumble. He had a sack. He had an interception. He had 3 pressures. And he had 6 tackles in that game. That game, like that is what Ruben Bain is. Like you can find different examples of that, but I think he shines in the biggest moment. And that Notre Dame game was one of those big moments for them.
Well, yeah, because if
Uh,
they don't win that game, they don't make it to the college football playoff.
Oh, I mean, it was also the first game of the year, but like it shows you that Ruben Bain, he's gonna come out, he's gonna be ready to play. Ruben Bain is definitely the best edge in this class. Um, the one concern I do have is the arms now, not even for the pass rush standpoint, because I feel like his bag is as deep as it is, and he's as good as he is because he had to already figure out how to overcome the fact that his arms are shorter. That's just my opinion on it, right? But I feel like in the run game, there's times where if he's setting the edge and he keeps that one arm free, that arm's just not long enough at times to like get it on that running back. So you're setting the edge, you're doing everything right, but you just missing him just by like I mean, man, by probably like a hand length. His arms are just too short at times. But overall, like Ruben Bain is one of the best players in this class, and that's with short arms. Like if this man had normal measurables, man, come on, this wouldn't even be a conversation right now. Like what we doing? Like it's all over the film. That man been popping out and showing everybody what it is since he was a true freshman. Uh, he been getting coached up by Jason Taylor. You know how valuable that is too. That he's been working with Jason Taylor. You don't think Jason Taylor know he has short arms? He did. Yeah, he was helping him. When he got some good coaching out there. Him and Mesidor both got some good coaching out there. Ruben Bain is one of the best players in this class. And man, if he makes it past, if he makes it past 6, I'll be shocked.
I saw a bunch of kids of Colorado get coached up by Warren Sapp. How many of them got drafted? Hello?
That's not the same thing. No,
Oh,
one of them was
oh,
actually a coach. Warren Sapp's not like Warren
what?
Sapp is a
Huh?
retired football player
Uh
that went out and he was just trying to tell them like, look, that's what I
huh.
did.
Uh huh.
It's a difference between a coach and somebody that's coming in and just telling you like, hey, look, you do what
Yeah.
I did.
Okay.
I'm just saying, man. I think I respect Jason Taylor a lot more as a football coach. It is what it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I do.
Has he
Yeah, I
coached you
think
before?
no, no.
Oh, okay. All right.
But I've heard things from people, and I mean,
You've
just
heard
hearing
things.
different opinions. Yeah, yeah,
Oh.
But
man.
Jason Taylor,
Sometimes you hear things.
Ooh.
y'all forget,
Ooh.
yeah,
Sometimes you hear things, man.
yeah. I mean, Jason Taylor as a coach. I mean, I've
Mm-hmm.
heard nothing but good things like, from a lot of
Oh,
people,
Exactly.
and I mean, not just
good
Miami
things.
fans. Like, so
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and you gotta look at the edges that the 2 edges that he had. They're
Mm-hmm.
good. Both of them go in the first round.
Hmm.
So I mean, he must be doing something right.
Well, okay. Well,
That's that good coaching. That's that good
but,
coaching over there, man.
but Dre said Ruben Bain
Shout
been
out to
doing
the
this out
U,
the gate,
man.
right?
The
Ain't
best
that what you
team in the
said?
ACC. Shout out to the U.
You
Yeah,
you you
still.
say you said he was doing this
Oh,
as a
whoa, whoa,
freshman.
whoa, 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 whoa! Best team in the
Yeah, you
ACC,
heard me.
but can't,
You
but
heard me. The
can't win
best
the
team in the
ACC.
ACC.
Best
Look,
team in the
best
ACC,
team
but
in the
can't win the
ACC.
ACC. That's
Best
kind of
team in the
crazy.
ACC.
How many ACC titles they got?
That's a
It
good
don't
question.
matter.
Huh?
That's a good question.
How many
I ain't
how
gonna lie.
many playoff
Huh?
appearances you got?
Who, me? More than
Yeah,
Miami. I got more than Miami.
in the college football playoff.
Yeah, you want to go look it up? You want to Google it?
You probably, yeah,
Hello?
you do.
Come
You
on, come
do.
on,
You
come
do.
Hello?
on,
You
come on.
do.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
how
Look
many
at
times you
it.
made the college football playoff? Hold on, how many times you made the college football playoff?
You want to go? You asking me questions that you don't know the answers to? What's
Yeah,
going on
no,
here?
hold on. How many times I made the college football playoff though?
Oh my god! How many times we made it, Dre?
Uh, how many times you make it? Because I might be forgetting something right
You
now
don't
off the top
know?
of my head. Hold on, let
You
me
don't
look.
know?
I'll go. I want to. Y'all ain't make the
I
college football
I
playoff that
I
We
many
never
times.
made the college
I
football.
Hold
So
I think they made it.
you sure we wasn't the first team in the college football
Yeah, I was gonna
playoffs
say. I think they made
No,
it.
in history?
no. I've said multiple times. I know you've been, but I'm saying how many times you actually been.
One.
So
Because
you and Miami got the same amount of appearances.
okay.
the
So
year
what's the
before that wasn't the
tiebreaker?
same
Shout
team.
out to the U, man.
So what's the
Uh,
tiebreaker, Dre?
Jameis Winston.
What's the tiebreaker, Dre?
Jameis Winston.
We got the same amount of appearances
Mhm.
to the
Jameis Winston,
playoffs.
the tiebreaker.
So let's do conference titles.
Y'all not better than
We need a
Florida. Y'all
tiebreaker.
not better than y'all
What's the
not better than
tiebreaker?
Florida. Y'all not better than
Uh
Miami.
huh. Uh
And
huh.
don't let
You still mad about
don't
getting
let
punched in the face
Heartline.
last
Hey,
year?
don't let Heartline get stuck together over there, man. Y'all gonna be the
Oh.
I
fourth
guess I'm
best
better than
team in the
Alabama
state
though.
over
I
there.
guess I'm better than Alabama. I beat
Uh,
them. I put foot to
we
them.
gonna line it up and you gonna see. We gonna line it
Yeah,
up
yeah.
and we gonna
You
see,
gonna
huh?
take another L, good brother.
Yeah, y'all are low budget Georgia. That's all that is.
We gonna line it up and we okay. I mean, if that's how you feel, cool, good
Since
brother.
Yeah.
Kagan left, you've been a low
Yeah.
budget Georgia, man.
Yeah.
You living off the dreams of your ex. Stop playing.
Damn,
Yes.
how many times have I played Georgia since Saban left?
Mm-hmm. How many?
3, 4,
What's
3,
my
4.
record in that time frame?
Mm-hmm.
What does Georgia got to do with Florida State? That's my question. They
Hold
ain't got
on,
to do.
They brought y'all into this, Jamie. It wasn't me.
It wasn't y'all that brought it. Certified said it. I just doubled down on the truth. That's
I was
all it
just
was.
reminding him that he a low budget Georgia. That's all.
I just doubled down on the truth.
So what's my record against Georgia in the last 2 years?
Why you always want to talk about a specific
No,
period of
you
time?
said after because you said after Saban.
No, I didn't.
That's after Saban, right?
I ain't even say the word Saban.
I said that.
Oh, you said after
Look
Saban.
at
So,
you all
so
flustered.
how long then? How long then? Well, how long? I mean, were you saying while we still had Nick Saban? Is that what you're referring to?
You say what?
I'm trying to clarify. Like, what was your statement then? Certified? Like,
You're a low budget Georgia.
okay, so what's the time frame that you're talking about?
I'm talking about right now.
So
You
what's my
trying to do
record
what they did.
against
You trying to
Georgia?
do what they did. You trying to do what they did, and you can't.
What do you
You
mean?
trying to
What do
do
you
what they
mean?
did.
Wait,
You
wait,
trying to
wait,
do what
wait,
they
wait,
you.
wait, wait, wait. Who has a more recent playoff win?
Oh, we're going back to playoff wins.
The last time y'all played, Georgia won, right?
Yeah, they did.
Little niggas.
And the
Was it,
two times before that,
you won, but I mean, you won. Yeah, you won. You won.
did we?
The 2 times before that.
Yeah,
Yeah, they won.
Well,
24.
how far back
we
you want to
played
go?
that's literally the last 2 years. All
Well,
three
how far back
matchups.
you want to go?
Okay, if you want to just go off of last year, we walked in their crib and beat them in their crib, and then they beat us in the SEC championship. Beat the shit out of us, but they beat us in
Oh,
the
when it
SEC
mattered, they
championship.
beat
So it's
y'all when
one
it
on one.
mattered. They beat y'all when it mattered.
How many times have they
Huh?
ever beat Alabama in the SEC championship? That's the first time they beat us in
See
any.
this. See, if you
For
can't
real?
answer my
That's the
question,
first time they beat y'all in the SEC championship?
Not the first time, but it's the first time Jamie probably remember in his lifetime.
don't talk to J Mick. Talk to us.
Okay, hold on. But we getting a little bit. Hold on, we getting a little bit off track.
No,
Let
look,
me get
look,
this
look,
down
look,
right.
look, look,
We
look,
still got.
look.
Hold on,
If
we still got Jay Mick.
any
Jay Mick
time,
still
look,
still-
every time that Jay Mick seen his team win an SEC championship,
Uh-huh.
it was a gangster team that wasn't named Alabama until this past season.
Say words, huh? So why you
All right,
ain't get there then?
but hold on. Jay Mick still need to present his player, his overrated guy. Jay Mick, you ready?
Yeah,
All right, here we go. Let's do it.
Mr. Carnell Tate, man. A lot of people got him either ranked number 1 or number 2 in the wide receiver class. I mean, so the one thing about Carnell Tate is, I mean, Carnell Tate has pretty good size, I guess you could say, for a wide receiver. I believe he's 6'2". I want to say 200 pounds. I want to say. Nah, he's actually 6'2", 192. Actually,
I was gonna say this one got him at 6'2", 195.
yeah. So I mean, I'll give you some of his strengths. I mean, like he high points the ball really, really well. Like corners can be in the perfect position and he can still make a play on the ball, which is a pretty good strength to have. He sets up his routes pretty well. His ball tracking when he's running at full speed is pretty good. He's really good against zone coverage. Like he knows where to sit downs in the zones, which is a skill that every wide receiver doesn't have. I believe last year he only had 3 drops the whole season, which I think gave him I think it was around a 5% drop rate, which is pretty. I mean, really, really good. And probably if I had to say, like, he'd be one of the better wide receivers in this particular class at coming back to underthrown balls. I would say. I mean, to me, the reason why I think he's like overrated is because, I mean, when I look at his history at Ohio State, and like people talk about him going drafted in the top 10, he's never been their wide receiver 1. Like every year that he's played on that team, there was a wide receiver better than him. I mean, this past year it was Smith. Last year, it was Amika, and the year before it was Marvin Harrison. So he theoretically has never been the best wide receiver on his own team. And another weakness of him is just like overall speed. If you buy into the the 40-yard dash combine time, he only ran a 4.5. I'm not really as concerned with that because some of your best receivers in the history of the NFL have not been speed demons. Like I don't feel like you need to be a speed demon to sell a route properly or to run the route tree. Like I don't think that's a qualifier to say if you're going to be a great wide receiver or not. So I'm not going to count it as a bad thing. What I see from him on film is like when he goes against long physical corners, he struggles, and especially if they're playing man press on him and they get their hands on him. I mean he struggles to get off the line at times, and so that could be an issue in the league because I mean there are you're gonna go against some physical corners. I mean, and like there are a lot of corners that are over 6 feet tall and that have long arms, so they're going to put their hands on you at the line of scrimmage. And that's something that he has to work on. Also on the film, it's not the greatest run blocker. If a wide receiver is like that's not the biggest knock, but the only issue is if you go to a team where they're counting on you to run block, that's just something that he's going to have to work on. He's shown the effort to want to run block. He's just not really that great at it. And so he's going to have to work on his hand placement when he's blocking. And he's going to have to sustain that through contact as well. And like the other thing, like durability is not really an issue because he played at Ohio State for 3 years. This past year, I think he missed 3 games with a calf strain, but he hasn't had a bunch of injuries. So that's not really a knock, really. I mean, my only issue, like I said, my main issue with me thinking he's overrated is from the main point that he's never been the number one wide receiver on his team, the best wide receiver. And so if I'm drafting a guy in the top 10, I'm depending on you to be, the reason I'm drafting you that high is because I'm counting on you to be my best wide receiver. And I just don't know if he can do that. And so that's why I think
not fair.
I mean, it might
That's
not
not fair, J-Mick.
I mean, it might not be fair, but I mean, something my dad used to tell me all the time. If you want to be fair, then you should go to the country fair. Like this, I mean, this is life. Life ain't fair. And so I can only go by what you shown me. And
but
you've never been the best on the team.
Okay.
Bars.
Let me
Bars.
ask the question differently then. What team can you put Jeremiah Smith on where he's not clearly the wide receiver one? Any team in the nation.
Well, I mean, Jeremiah Smith is the best wide receiver in the nation. That's how I view him. So obviously
that's why I'm saying it's not fair. Like I mean, it's not fair from that standpoint.
Yeah, but how about the 2 prior years? So I see. The thing is, I gave you a 3-year sample. I didn't just give you the 1 year. I gave you the year with Amika and I mean Marvin Harrison Jr. And he wasn't, and the thing was, he wasn't better than them guys either.
But this was like, usually it lines up to where that 3rd year is that like real money year where you have like the crazy production, right? Yeah. But when you have a Jeremiah in the room, cool. He cuts the line.
I'll give you a pass for that.
He cut the line. That's all I'm saying. He cut the line. So
Jeremiah, I mean, like you could throw that.
He would have been the best receiver on the team if it wasn't for Jeremiah. Carnell Tate would have clearly been the best receiver on that.
Yeah, but the problem with the prior 2 years, he wasn't the best either. That's the problem. I can let him skate on this year because Jeremiah. Some people believe he's a generational prospect. That's fine. He can skate like I can strike this year, but the prior 2 years, I mean, Amika was better than him. And like I said, Marvin Harrison was better than him.
Where was Marv drafted?
Number 4 overall.
Okay.
And so, where was he drafted though?
About Emeka was drafted, what, 20? 19, 20?
19.
Yeah.
19. Okay. 19 and 4. So what we're saying is he wasn't better than in his sophomore year, right? In his sophomore year, he wasn't better than Emeka in his junior year or senior year.
Yeah, but it also goes to show you when you're not the best receiver on your team and you play on Ohio State, you're not going up. Every team you play, you're not going up against the best corner. And I feel as if his production was pretty good.
I disagree with that. I disagree with.
So he's not going up against the best corner. So he should in college. He should be eating like crazy. And I'm not talking about the Jeremiah Smith year because Jeremiah gonna get the ball. So I'm not talking about that. But the other 2 years, like he should be getting open a lot more than he was. Is my thing.
Not necessarily, because even with Marv, like Marv was being talked about I didn't agree with it, but Marv was being talked about the way that they talking about Jeremiah.
Yeah, I never
Like
bought
the
the
way
Marvel generation though. I never bought that.
but I mean, he was putting up the numbers like he was hoping at Ohio State. So yeah, you're not gonna be wide receiver one over Marv who gets drafted in the top 20 or top five. Then year two, you're not gonna be wide receiver one over a guy that gets drafted in the top 20. Then this guy Jeremiah Smith come in, and as a true freshman, he could be drafted in the top five. I truly believe if he could have declared after his true freshman year, somebody would have taken him in the top five picks of the.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
still,
I'm
I
just silent. I'm looking at his production. Like he hasn't even broke 1,000 yards in college. Like his first year, his freshman year, whatever. Like I'm not even gonna count that against him. But sophomore year, 700 yards. Last year, 875. Like he's never broken 1,000. And I like I said, like, I just like I don't think like it might be getting framed wrong. I don't think he's a bad prospect. Like I think he'll be a solid wide receiver too in the NFL. But I'm not drafting a wide receiver two in the top 10. I'm not doing that. I just think he's being way overvalued. Like now, if you talk about drafting him like in the late teens or the 20s, then I wouldn't say what I'm saying. But for you to be a top 10 pick, I need you to be like an elite talent at that position. And I think he's really good. I just don't think he's worth a top 10 pick.
Yep, I agree with that. And the biggest reason, like, you kind of laid it all my talking points about Tate out, Mick, because I've been saying this about him for quite some time. Um, like you don't necessarily have to be the one because I'm just thinking about the wide receiver talent Ohio State has had, but to the point you made, you've never cracked 1,000 yards. You tend to play better against weaker competition at times, and you honestly come on strong towards the latter part of the season, which is not necessarily wrong because that means you're building, and you're working. But this is not a guy I want to be drafting that high. Like I don't want that guy at 5. I don't want that guy at 8. I don't want it at 9. I do not want that guy. That's a guy I can get in the middle part to the later part of the first round. But if I need you to come in and be an instant impact wide receiver, I just think like you could do that, but he's not, like, in my opinion, he's never going to be a one. I think he'll be a high value too, if at best.
I disagree. I think
Really?
he could be a CD Lamb type of like he could be that type
You
of
think
guy.
he gonna be CD Lamb?
I said he could be.
He
I
wasn't. I
can't
mean, he wasn't
guarantee anything.
Lamb in college.
But look who he's playing with, J Mick.
I mean, CD Lamb played with some good wide receivers when he was in college too. I'm not saying it was at the level of Carnell Tate. I'm not saying that, but it's not like CD Lamb was the only wide receiver on them teams that he was playing on either though. Like I
No, he wasn't, but it wasn't that same level of God. Like come on,
I
man.
mean, I just don't see him being a wide receiver one. Like he might get drafted to a team where he's forced into that role because he's the best that they have. Like if he gets drafted to the Browns, he's wide receiver one. I mean, I have no doubt that he's going to be better than Jerry Jeudy. But just because you're a wide receiver one on the team doesn't mean that that you are a legitimate wide receiver one. It's just you're being forced in that position because that's the best of what they have.
I think he can be a legitimate wide receiver one.
I don't know. I just don't see it. Like I think he'd be better off being a wide receiver too. Then that's
I
just
mean,
my.
there's a lot of players that Devon. Look, Smitty is better off being a two, right?
But I think
With
Smitty could be a one.
AJ, but he
I mean,
could be a one, right? But he's better off right now being that two. Like it's better for the.
I mean, like I don't want to get into the AJ Brown stuff, but at some point, AJ not going to be on that team, and Smitty going to be the one. He going to prove to people he going to be the one. Like it's not the same. Like it's kind of apples to oranges, but it's the same thing I find with Jahmyr Gibbs. People was telling me Jahmyr Gibbs couldn't be your main running back, this, that, and the third. I try to because I watched him obviously because we went to Bama, so I watched him a lot in college. As I try to tell people, he could be your main running back. People fight me on it. Montgomery got hurt, and boom, he was able to do that. I feel the same thing about Smitty. I think Smitty has every capability of being a number one, but obviously Smitty is right now is not a better wide receiver than AJ Brown. But I think when AJ departs, whether it's this year, next year, or the year after, Smitty will fit right into that role, and I think Smitty can do it. I mean, like no problem at all. But I just don't feel that way about Carnell Tate. I just don't. And not to say I think Carnell will be a good player. I just don't think he's a wide receiver one.
All right, so Carnell Tate. I ain't just gonna jump into the negatives, but I do think his route running is at the top of the game in this class. I think he's one of the elite route runners coming out this year. I do agree with what J Mick said with his contested catch. I think he had an 85 or 86% catch rate in 2025. So he definitely attacks the ball well in the 50-50 game. I think he has the ability to be a vertical threat. I don't think it'll be like the speedster. I think with his crispy route running, his ability, in and out the cut, getting away from people. I think he has good separation, but it's not elite. I think he can separate, but I don't think he does it at a really, really, really high level. But I think overall he's a really polished receiver. He makes some smart decisions. He's calculated. I think he has strong hands. But some of his weaknesses though is obviously the top end speed. I think he ran a 4.5 at the combine. So his lack of his top end speed and explosiveness off the line. People talk about his body frame being lean. He's a lanky frame guy. I think he's 190. I have written down 190. It might be a little bit more, but I don't think he plays with a lot of physicality in some of his routes. Coming back, like just running through the route. And I think sometimes he just got some things he could work on, like with the top of his route, rounding off the routes, keeping it flat, keeping the defender from coming back. But I think overall, Carnell Tate, to me, I think he could be a 1J Mick. I don't think he's a high end one. I think if he becomes a one, he's one of those guys where you kind of talk about him being at the back end of the ones, somewhere in the middle of the back end, like
Sorry, I have a question for you, Ray.
He's not the top 10 one, but he may be at some point a top 21.
So I have a question for you, Ray. If the Commanders were to draft Carnell Tate, is Carnell Tate your wide receiver one?
Nope, Terry still is.
And Terry's a really solid wide receiver one. I wouldn't say he's on the elite level of being a one, but he's he's right in the middle range to me. Because the elite guys are guys like Jettas, Chase, Puka.
I think that's what Carnell Tate can be though, Jay, man. I think that's what he kind of I don't think he coming in that way. I don't think he comes in that way. Okay. I think after some coaching and some things like that, I think he could be in that range of where Terry is right now, where he's not top 10, top 15, but you kind of discuss him in that range of could he potentially be here or there. I think if he becomes a one, he could be that. I think if he becomes a two, he has a better chance of being in those conversations when you're talking about some of the guys that are doing it at a high level.
But so I will say this though, coming to the league, Carnell Tate is as a prospect, he comes to the league as a better prospect than Terry. I'll say that because Terry was a third round pick, so Terry wasn't honestly, watching Terry he didn't stick out to me like that. It's something that he developed once he got to the league. So,
who would your draft comp be, J Mick, for Carnell?
Tell me Carnell.
Yeah.
Carnell.
I got a weird name. I don't know if y'all gonna agree with me, but I do got a
Carnell.
I only got one draft come too.
I don't know if I have really. I don't know if I have an established receiver that's like comp to him. I've seen comps where people are trying to compliment to JSN, people are trying to compliment to Jake Beck and like Xavier Hutchinson. But I don't think those, to me, I wouldn't agree with all three of those comps. I don't think it really fits that well.
Dre, do you have a draft comp for Carnell Tate?
Nope.
I don't know if y'all gonna agree with me. You might not agree with me. It's okay. I got Devontae Adams though.
Well, if you're competent,
Devontae Adams at the ceiling.
Yeah, but like if you're competent when Devontae was coming out of college, I guess you could go with that. Just not as him as as him as an NFL player. I don't think you could go with that then. But prospect, yeah, I mean you probably could. Because I mean Devontae developed a lot once he got to the league, so that's why I could go with it.
Okay,
That's
yeah. If you're talking about Tay when he was
Like
going into his draft,
yeah, I'm going draft comp.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I can accept that.
That's what I got. I got Devontae Adams down as comparison as a draft comp.
But I mean, Devontae did a lot of developing like once he got to Green Bay. So
now NFL comp. I got Calvin Ridley.
Oh, wait a minute. So as of an hour ago, just real quick, I just seen it on the timeline. As of an hour ago, the Browns have reportedly engaged the Giants in trade talks for star defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence. Can somebody say 6-24? Can somebody say 6-24?
I don't think you're getting 6-24. I think.
Hey, I'll give him 37. Nope.
First round
pick. You could have 37.
Wait, hold on. No. He just said he getting both first round picks.
Yeah. 6-24.
They ain't giving you.
Let me get 6-24, and then I'm drafting 1,000 downs with 5 and 6 back to back. Yeah.
No, they're not giving you that.
1,000 downs. Oh yeah. We about to take the Eagles model.
They might give you a first this year and next year.
Hey, did y'all see that play from Jeremiah Smith in the red and the scarlet and gray game?
No,
this man just took a 7-yard slant to the crib.
Yeah, I'm not watching that.
Jeremiah Smith is different, man.
Bruh. I can't listen. I ain't gonna lie. I know we just did our 2026 guys. I can't wait to deep dive into 2027, bro.
We're gonna do that, and we're gonna do it way before it's draft time too.
Yeah, man. I just seen that. I thought it was very interesting. Yeah, man. I mean, that's our overrated, underrated guys for this. You know what I mean? This segment, this part 2. So obviously, man. Next week, if you haven't yet, man, we got a lengthy schedule, man, from Wednesday to the end of the draft. We're gonna be giving y'all all the broadcasting and streaming you need. So hit that subscribe button so you don't miss that. Pop.
And hold on, and let us know who your overrated and underrated players in this year's draft class are.
Gave a player too. I gotta look into him.
And
Josh Cameron.
Also, be on the lookout for that safety list. It is coming. Top 15 safeties in this year's draft class. I know some people are already out there waiting, but I will be dropping it either today or tomorrow. Haven't decided yet.
That's John Basuto, bro.
Oh, man. Paul, get us out of here, man.
I mean, if that's how you feel.
These fools get to argue. See what I'm saying, man? Get us out of here when these fools get to argue, man.
All right. Always remember to follow the YouTube page, follow the CheckDown Twitter page, join the CheckDown Twitter community. Always remember to tell a friend, and we'll tap in with y'all next Saturday at 11:15 Eastern Standard Time.
Check. Check down. Check down. This the check down. We give it to you straight. This the check down. We really watch the tape. This the check down. We give it to you straight. This the check down. We really watch the tape. From the street to the game, we bring that flow, analyze